And welcome to Brandon, South Dakota, and the Lynx, your Brandon Valley Lynx 2023 Lynx football team. I'm here with Bob Arnold, our color guy.
Hey, Ken. It's good to be back.
Yeah, and I'm Ken McEwen. Hey, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Last week you didn't get to hear us because the Lynx were on the road. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But I want to welcome you to the Pigskin Classic number 23. So in 2023, we're at 23, and what an event. This place is packed right now in Brandon. And the Lynx, your Lynx, I should say, coming into this game 0-1. And that tough loss to O'Gorman last week, which it was a heartbreaker at the end, 24-21. Harrisburg's coming in at 0-1 also, the Harrisburg Tigers, and they lost to Jefferson, Sioux Falls Jefferson, 28-21.
In overtime, by the way, Ken, so I would venture to say that both teams have got a little bad taste in their mouth that they want to get rid of tonight.
Oh, 100%. So we're going to go with our Lynx TV sponsors, and we'll kick that off this 2023 season. I know some of you have been watching Lynx TV and the live broadcast on volleyball this year and also with the soccer team. So we want to welcome you to this Lynx TV special, I would say the opening, the home opener, and the Lynx TV home opener and the season opener for us. The all-American sponsors, and I'm going to let Bob kick that off.
We've got Allegiant Communications, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling and Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. We've got our Lynx MVP sponsors, our First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health in Brandon, and Sanford Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And the Lynx champion sponsors are Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance, Josh Koob Agency, Brandon Ace Hardware, the Brandon Lumber Company, the Heartland Funeral Home, Horizon Pet Care, Quick Star, Sunshine Food Stores, and Today's Family Dentistry.
We want to take the time to actually thank those sponsors because they're the reason we're bringing this live to you tonight on this steamy home opener for your Lynx. I have no idea what the temperature is, but I can tell you what it looks like up here. You can't see us right now, but I have a fan that's right to my left. Bob, your color tonight has a fan right next to him. It's not even on. I mean, he's pretty good. I mean, but we also, get this, we also have cooling towels around our necks. I mean, how jealous are you at home right now? You're sitting in 68 to 70 degree weather inside your home, or maybe you may be in the garage with a air conditioned garage, I hope. But wherever you're at, I hope you're staying cool because it is steamy out this evening. We're going to touch on what happened last week in the 11 AAA, and all the time when we go into week one, there's a preseason rankings, and the Lynx were ranked number 3. Harrisburg was actually ranked number 2. Both the second seed and the third seed got knocked off last week by 3 points and respectively 7 points for the Tigers. This week, Lincoln sitting at 1-0. They're ranked number 1. And Jefferson, right behind them at 1-0, is ranked number 2. O'Gorman at number 3. Harrisburg at number 4. And your Lynx are sitting at number 5. A crucial game as we kick off week 2 in the AAA.
Yeah, there was some. All 4 of the 5 top-ranked teams all played each other last week. The lower seeds in each of those games ended up winning those games either in overtime or in last second. So I see that there's going to be a lot of exciting football this year, Ken, and I don't expect tonight's game to be anything different.
Yeah, Jack Thuy, your quarterback, the senior quarterback for the Lynx, was 14 of 21, really super efficient over there at O'Gorman, and he had 237 yards and 2 touchdowns, catalysts of the offense, but really the wide receivers did a tremendous job also, and Landon Delaney, 7 catches, 109 yards and 1 touchdown. He's a junior, And Bonwell Whitty, 4 catches, 85 yards, 1 touchdown. He's a sophomore. One thing I think they really need to do, and as Levi Veskerna, running back, he had 23 carries, 112 yards, and 1 touchdown. Nobody would have known that last week if we were at the game, Bob, and nobody would have known that he had that many yards on the ground, because it just didn't seem like our offense could get a jump start from the ground.
Yeah, he had a couple of good chunk runs, and he carried the ball a lot, but like I said, it was blended in with some of the long pass plays that were on offense, and so it's easy to hide those, but very crucial because those are time killers when it comes to running down the game. So.
And defensively, your Lynx were led by Gunnar Swift. He had 10 tackles lost, and along with Caden Down, 8 tackles. He also had 2 sacks. So, with the Lynx defense, we saw a little bit of pressure, but I thought maybe they'd dial up some more pressure as they went on. They kind of let the quarterback kind of maneuver a little bit without some pressure. Didn't bring a lot of heat from the linebacker position. The Lynx run a 3-4 defense. The Tigers do too. So you're going to see 3 down linemen a lot. Sometimes those outside linebackers will climb up to the line on the outside and present kind of either a 4-man defensive line or a 5-man defensive line. The offense for the Tigers were led by Sam Knuth, the quarterback. He was 17 for 27, 197 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 2 interceptions. One thing about Thuy, your Lynx quarterback, no turnovers from that quarterback position. One thing that kind of hurt the Lynx also, if we dial that back a little bit to last week, was turnovers. O'Gorman won the turnover battle, I believe, 3-1, and by what I mean by that is that they created 3 turnovers. The Lynx only created 1. Usually, whoever creates more turnovers wins the ball game.
The other team gets the opportunity to score that much additional time over the offense. So, yes, Harrisburg, they're very much a passing team. Sam Knutson had 197 yards. Their receiver, the one to watch out for them tonight is Titan Tryon. He had 9 catches for 172 yards, but more importantly, he had 3 touchdowns for them. And that's one thing for the Lynx to secondary to make sure that they got them bottled up. And when they do catch the ball, because it's not expected to shut them out, but you got to wrap up and you got to bring down. You can't let them have any additional yards after catch.
Yeah, you talked about Titan Tryon, 9 catches, 172 yards, 3 touchdowns along at 25. So he's really catching it at the intermediate, intermediate kind of, if we want to call it, between the line of scrimmage and basically the linebacker position, about that 10 yards. We're about to have our national anthem, I believe. They unrolled the flag, and I think they're rolling it back up. I don't know if you folks can see on your screen. I can't see our live feed right now. Maybe you can text us or whatever, but they're rolling it back up. They're trying to get that unrolled again. We got 6:25 to go in the pregame. Starting lineups will go like this for your Lynx. At quarterback's going to be number 3, Thuy. Also at running back, your starter's going to be Veskerna. Number 44 is going to be Nelson, along with the tight end, number 38, Bayless. Your wide receivers are going to go like this. Number 11 is going to be Bonwell Whitty, along with the number 5, Delaney. Offensive line is going to go like this. Number 75, and it is a big offensive line, and I know Bob will touch on that in just a moment. It's going to be number 75, Feldkamp. 74 is your other tackle, is going to be Shunky. Number 64 is going to be Parliament. He's a guard. Number 72 is going to be Poppy. He's a guard. And your center is going to be number 79, Tubes. So we're about to bring you the national anthem.
Now this introduce the starting lineups for the
So they're
offensive
introducing
unit
first
for your
before the
Brandon
national
Valley
anthem, the
Lynx.
starting lineups, and we're going to introduce those to you also.
On the offensive
Defensively,
line at tight
for
end,
your
number
Lynx is going to be
38,
number
6'2",
57. Remember the
220-pound senior Noah Bayless. At center, number 79, a 6'4", 305-pound senior Jack Tews. At left tackle, number 75, a 6'5", 280-pound junior Lucas Feldkamp. At right tackle, number 74, a 6'5", 300-pound senior Navarro Shunke. At left guard, number 64, a 6'4", 275-pound sophomore Hudson Parliament. At right guard, number 72, a 6'5", 305-pound senior Easton Poppy. At wide receiver, number 11, a 6'2", 190-pound sophomore Devion Bonwell-Whitty. At wideout, number 5, a 6'2", 175-pound junior Landon Delaney. At fullback, number 44, a 6', 215-pound senior Micah Nelson. At running back, number 31, a 5'10", 175-pound sophomore Levi Veskerna. And at quarterback, number 3, a 6'2", 195-pound senior Jack Dewey. Coaches for the Lynx is Mike Zur, Tim Sillianson, Kent Anderson, Dylan Brees, Jason Bisbee, Mark Statham, Matt Mueller, Joe Krabarchka, and John Flint. Volunteer coaches A.J. Garrell, Jeremy Risty, Darian Smith, Lorenzo William, Riley Francine, and Kelly Meeker. Strength coaches Charlie Smoke and Adam Bobzine. The presentation of our colors are being performed tonight by the color guard members of the Brandon Valley VFW Post 4726, Brandon American Legion Post 318, and Valley Springs American Legion Post 131. The privilege of this game is made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we enjoy. God bless our veterans and active military and all they do for our nation and our local communities. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Proper etiquette is to remove all headwear, face the flag, and put your hand over your heart. Active duty military personnel or veterans not in uniform may salute the flag. Playing our national anthem will be the Brandon Valley Trumpet Line under the direction of Jackie Stimwittle. Sing loud and proud, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Play a 3-4 defense. There are three defensive linemen, are number 74, Max Elrod, number 34, Carson Drexler, and number 71, Rizik Osman. Their safeties are number 8, Jackson Wolbrink, and number 3, Thomas Holt. There are two other secondary folks. They're number 6, Logan O'Connor, and number 2, Cohen Cook. And there are 4 linebackers, number 12, Carter Beyer, number 16, Isaac Ostrom, number 9, Sam Just, and number 25, Levi Danielson. And their punter, number 28, Keo Rollinger.
All right, and as our American flag is leaving the field right now. And what we're looking at, Bob, is we also want to touch on a couple things as the captains for your Lynx are going to be number 2. That's going to be Grayson Bortnam, and also Jack Thuey. Number 44 is going to be Micah Nelson. Sam Knowles, Thomas Risty, and Navarro Shunke will be your captains this evening as they're going to meet the captains for the Tigers at midfield, and we're going to decide who's going to win the coin toss and who's going to defer, who's going to take it, whatever they want to do. Coaching strategy right off the bat as we go into this ball game.
I think it's going to tell you a lot about what the coaches think about the strengths are of their football team. If they feel that it's very important to get off to a fast start because your offense is your strength, you're going to want to take the ball if you've got the opportunity. If defense is your strength, you're going to want to defer, get the ball the second half, and see if you can hold them and jump out that way. So it'll be interesting to see what the coaches decide, and more importantly, who wins the coin flip.
100%. I agree with you, Bob, is that we also are going to be looking at two teams, and we can go over the scores from actually last night, Friday Night Lights, we'll call it. Sioux Falls O'Gorman, they were facing Sioux Falls Roosevelt, and I haven't seen a score like this in high school in a long time. 77-20. O'Gorman moves to 2-0 as they dominated that game last night. Friday night score also in the AAA was Jefferson taking on Washington, and they squeaked another one out 2 weeks in a row by a 7-point difference. They beat Washington 24-7 in overtime. And today I should say, we have one score in right now, and that was Sioux Falls Lincoln. They are going to move to 2-0 on the season. They beat Rapid City Central with a shutout, 59-0. Also, Rapid City Stevens and Douglas will be facing each other, I assume, this evening.
Yep, they start at 7 o'clock. One thing of note, Kent, in the Jefferson-Washington game, Washington was up 14-0 early in that game, and Jefferson kind of weathered the storm and came back and tied it up in the fourth quarter and got a touchdown, and their defense held in overtime. So,
absolutely, Bob, and we're about to kick this one off. Your number 23 on 2023, the 23rd Pigskin Classic is about to kick it off. Both teams 0-1, looking for their first victory of the season. They need to move up. It's a huge game. No team wants to start 0-2, and we're about to start that this evening. For your Lynx, kicking off is going to be number 48, and that's going to be Ryder Haas. Back deep for the Tigers. Kick return is going to be Feldy, and also, I believe, number 10, that's going to be Carlson. Deep kick, back of the end zone by Haas, and that's going to start the game right about the 20-yard line, I believe 25-yard line in high school. That's where the Tigers are going to start off with the ball. Your Brandon Lynx defense comes out, giving up last week 24 points late in the game, that field goal as O'Gorman drove down the field. We all saw it, it was a touchdown in the corner of the end zone, and that sealed it for O'Gorman beating your Lynx. As Knuth's going to come out with a spread offense, 3 receivers to his right. He has 1 to his left. He also has his running back, Rollinger, in the backfield right behind him in a pistol formation. He claps, doesn't like it. He's going to go to Rollinger. There's a quick hitter, but I believe Risty's there for the stop for the Lynx right away at that defensive end position. It's going to be a loss of about 2 yards. We're going to bring up 2nd and 12.
Yeah, the defensive line did a good job of kind of stalling the block, kind of clogged up the holes. The linebackers come in and sealed those holes and got a nice stop. So let's see if we can keep that going tonight.
So they're going to call it, the scoreboard hasn't changed, but I think it's about 2nd, and we'll call it 11. As Knuth barks out signals, he claps. Play action. Heavy rush. He scrambles to the left. That's number 7. You can see him on his screen. He scrambles up to about the 28-yard line, and that's going to be a gain of 9 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, the linebacker kind of did a kind of a delayed blitz. They went on the inside, and the quarterback avoided the blitz and had it wide open. And when he cut to the side, he's pretty athletic, Ken. They got to be careful what how much pressure they're putting on and where they're doing it. So
3 receivers to Knuth's right. He also has that wing back, as you can see on your screen, right to his left. That's Rollinger, also with the wide receiver. He's going to motion number 81, his favorite wide receiver, in Tryon. Heavy blitz. They're showing blitz from the Lynx, and they come. Knuth breaks it, and let's see if he slips just short of the 1st down. We're going to see here, but they're going to measure it. No, they're not. The side judge is going to say 1st down for the Tigers.
They gave him a pretty generous spot, Ken. Hopefully that translates all night for both teams. So.
And as you can see, number 81 again, that was Tryon. He had a big day with 9 catches, over 150 yards last week. Tight formation out of the trips. He motions his running back. I believe it's number 28, Rollinger. Empty formation. 1 receiver to his left. He looks right. He doesn't find anything. He's going to complete a pass, though, to number 10, Carlson. Breaks a tackle. Gains about 8 yards. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 as your Lynx defense swarming on that.
You know, they definitely overloaded this side of the offense, and the Lynx just didn't have enough personnel over here to stop that. And when they did, they got to make sure that they wrap up, because if they're going to keep getting yards after catch, it could be a long night.
4 linebackers for your Lynx. They're going to bring up a nickel situation. No, they're going to keep 4 linebackers in. Spread formation again for the Tigers. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Rollinger in the backfield. No, that's number 10. That's going to be Carlson. Quick giver to the wide receiver, and it's going to be a 1st down gain of about 6 yards, as it's going to move the chains all the way up to the 44-yard line, the 3rd 1st down of this drive for the Tigers.
Carlson's a very hard runner. Hard to bring down on that first initial contact, so we'll have to make sure to see if we can shore up that line a little bit and see if we can cut off that run game.
As Knuth's going to come to the line, actually in the shotgun again. He also has Carlson with him in the backfield. That's not going to be Rollinger. Motions Carlson to his left, right in front of him. Claps. Looks like just like his brother that ended up going to the Gophers. I think he's no longer with the Gophers. I don't think he committed to the Gophers 1 year, and he's no longer there. Knuth, right now, the younger brother, picks up 2 yards, brings up a 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, it looks like when they're committed to blitzing on this side of the deal, they kind of audible out and do a quarterback run away from the blitzing linebackers.
3 receivers to Knuth's right. That offensive line's doing some work so far with the Lynx 3 down defensive linemen. 1 receiver to his left. He's patient. Drops back. I think it's going to be a false start we're going to see. It is going to be a false start. It's going to be the first penalty of the game, and it's going to bring up a 2nd down now and 13, as it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Still Tigers ball.
Yep, that's good. The offensive lineman just got a little bit jittery on that play call. They wanted to get up and get in contact with the defensive line and hold their blocks.
Knuth, and it looks like they're going to get the 5 yards back. Now, as Parliament was a little bit jittery there, a little bit. You almost think that Parliament's, the nose tackle for the Lynx, number 64. Everybody, the defensive line's trained to really look at the ball, okay? You think the center kind of, maybe adjusted the ball a little bit and then came? What do you think?
Well, it was a hard clap by the quarterback. Again, they probably saw something on film, and when he did those super hard claps to go, well, they adjusted that cadence.
Knuth, shotgun, drops back 2 yards. He tries a 5-yard drop back. He goes up top to number 11. Great defense, but even better catch by Morton. That's going to be a big, big gain for the Tigers, all the way down to about, they're going to say, right at the 25-yard line as they go across midfield. 1st down Tigers, and that's going to be their 4th 1st down. So we saw on that last chunk of yards there. You saw Knuth with a big arm, and Morton catches it over the middle. Tryon right to his right. He also has Carlson with him in the backfield. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Gives it to Carlson, and no, that's going to be Rollinger. Rollinger is going to be balled up by a host of Lynx defenders led by number 10, Swift. It's going to bring up a second down and 10.
Yeah, I think the defense saw something there, and they knew to crash, and so the linebackers got in, filled the hole, and got a nice stop there.
Swift, your leading tackler last week for the Lynx, in on that tackle from his middle linebacker position. 3 receivers to Knuth's left. He also has a tight end. No, that's going to be Carlson in motion from the trip side. Play fake. They go to a screen pass to Rollinger, and it was set up beautifully, but Rollinger took his eyes off the ball looking for the defender or looking for more yards, and it's incomplete. 3rd down and 10. Big play here for the Lynx defense. My guess is, though, unless we know something different, if Harrisburg has a big-time kicker, they're going to go for it. They're going to treat this as a 2nd down and maybe go for it on 4th down. Knuth, Rollinger right behind him. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. That's going to be number 84, and there's a snap. Roll left, design roll. He cuts back to the right. Missed tackles, mixed sack, but he doesn't miss that one. Risty, number 57, the defensive end, with a big sack, loss of 2, and that's where the defense came to play last week early in the ball game. We see it so far in this game.
You know, I was kind of watching Risty on that play, and when the play was kind of going to the other side, instead of trailing and following him back, he kind of watched the quarterback and kind of filled into the middle of the line, and the quarterback ran right to him.
4th down, even bigger down now, as we predicted that they would go for it, and that's the Tigers. And 3 receivers to Knuth's right. They're trying to draw him off sides again. The defense drops back. 5 down the middle, looking for Carlson again. Touchdown. Second play on that drive. Carlson beats the safety right up the middle, and I think what they caught him in is a safety coming down, and a linebacker actually peeking into the backfield and went right by him. Touchdown from Knuth to Carlson, 6-0 Tigers.
You know, they are double teaming Tryon, so that's leaving some folks out on an island there, Ken, and I think they're going to have to make some defensive adjustments there on those long passes down the middle of the field.
And the kicker is going to be number 20, and that's going to be for, and we'll get the name here in just a moment, it's number 80 for the Tigers. It is up and good.
That's Trey Hansen.
Trey Hansen with the extra point. 7-0 on the 23rd Pigskin Classic here in Brandon, South Dakota. We're going to bring you the Lynx TV sponsors real quick here while we have a moment. Go ahead, Bob.
We've got the Lynx All-American sponsors. We've got Alliance Communications, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling, Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. The Lynx MVP sponsors are First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health of Brandon, and Sanford Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And the Lynx champion sponsors are Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance, Josh Koob Agency, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Heartland Funeral Homes, Horizon Pet Care, Quick Star, Sunshine Food Stores, and Today's Family Dentistry. Please get out there and support those sponsors because they make these broadcasts and all the ones for all the sports possible.
And Harrisburg, as you can see, are lining up for the kickoff opening drive for the Tigers. They command the ball in the air, really, but a little bit with Knuth's legs on the ground as he was scrambling out of that pocket to the left. I think he gained about 18 yards on the ground, but most of it through the air to his receiver, number 10, and that was Carlson. Back deep for your Lynx is going to be number 5, Delaney, along with number 17, Pudwell. There's a squib kick. It's going to be taken by Pudwell, number 17. He's going to bounce to the right, and he gets nothing as the Harrisburg Tiger kickoff team down there to cover, and they swarmed him up Lynx are going to start with the ball on offense in this game for the first time at about the 20-yard line. We'll say 21-yard line. And as number 3, the senior quarterback, Thuy, and I know Bob will get to the offensive line a little bit. As you can see on your screen, that's a big offensive line. That's a college-size offensive line. Let's see if they can establish the line of scrimmage. And we're going to have a penalty right off the bat. It's going to be encroachment on the defense. That's going to be a free 5 yards. It's going to bring up a 1st and 5 from the 26.
You know, that's about the 5 easiest yards we might get all night, Ken.
You're right, unless we get a 10-yard penalty or a 15-yard penalty. That's true, though. That was really, really easy. And they start out the I formation. Now we have 2 tight ends set. Both tight ends are going to move. That's going to be Nelson. He's the fullback. He moves to the tight end set I formation. They're going to give it straight up the middle, and we'll see the ball carrier here. That's going to be number 31, Veskerna. And remember, he had a big chunk of yards on the ground. He had 112 yards on 23 carries and 1 touchdown last week. He's going to pick up 3 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 2 from about the 29-ish yard line. I formation again with Nelson right behind Thuy. That's going to be Veskerna right behind him deep. Play action. Beautiful play action. Going up top to number 11. That's going to be Bonwell Whitty. Touchdown Lynx. But wait.
They marked him out at the 9-yard line.
They did mark him out at the 9-yard line. Bob put his hand right in front of my face. Wait. You couldn't hear him, but great call.
Well, I was that guy. The umpire wasn't getting down the field, but he was waving his hands, so it wasn't going to be a touchdown. He tried to do the tightrope along the deal, but you know what? We just got to get it from here.
Great play action by Thuy as the I formation became prevalent on that play. Bonwell Whitty up top. First down Lynx. As they're going to go out of the I formation again, that's going to be Veskerna, and he's going to gain, I believe, they're going to call it about 1, maybe 2 yards. And they're going to call it 1 yard. It's going to be 1st and 9 with 5:15 to go in this first quarter. The Tigers up 7-0 in this Pigskin Classic.
You know, Ken, last week, early in the game, they kind of struggled inside the 20. Didn't get any points out of 3 trips. They need to get something right here.
2 tight end formation, and Thuy's going to be out of the shotgun. He's going to have Veskerna right with him. And there's a fake to Bonwell Whitty, but it doesn't fool the Tigers. It may be a gain of maybe 1, maybe 2 yards for Thuy. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Actually, it's going to be 3rd and goal. And because there's no first down to get, you're either picking up these 7 yards, 8 yards. Well, now they say 6 yards, 3rd and 6, or 3rd and goal from us for the touchdown 7-7.
Yeah, Bonwell Whitty had a long pass last week against O'Gorman too that was very similar to that play, and it's good to see that they're going to stretch him out on the stretch him out on the defense and make that secondary guard us.
And as you know, the play action's prevalent. They're tightening everything in. You have 2 tight ends. You got an I formation, Bob. You got Bonwell Whitty to his left, to Thuy's left. You also have Delaney out to his right. That I formation with Nelson. We know Nelson's a phenomenal fullback, number 44, and they are concentrating on the run, and we hit him up top. Haas with the big kick, end zone. There's nobody taking that one out. It's out of the end zone, and that's where the Tigers are going to start at about the 25-yard line. Excuse me, the 20-yard line.
Yeah, the defense got to come out and see what kind of adjustments that they make on those. I think it's a post pass, is it, Ken? Down the middle and between the hashes?
Yeah, so basically it's kind of a seam route. They're going up the seam. They're trying to bring the safeties up on that run game. They want they want the two safeties from the Lynx to come up, and that's what's been happening, and that's where they're attacking them. As the safeties are peeking in the backfield, they can't be peeking in the backfield anymore because Carlson is going right up the seam. Rollinger from Knuth. He's going to gain about 4 yards as the Harrisburg Tigers offense on their second series starts out from the 20-yard line. Like we said, it's going to bring up a second down and about 6 yards. 4:28 to go, first quarter, 7-7 ball game. We talked about in the pregame prior to going live with you all that this is going to be a tight one. It's billing it already in the first quarter. Knuth, Rollinger to his right in the backfield. 3 receivers to his right and 1 to his left. 3-4 defense, drop back. Knuth, heavy pressure. Rollinger, he is met in the backfield but breaks a tackle, but he's not going to break the second one. No, they're going to say he's down on the first contact or the second contact, Bob?
Yeah, they got him, and they tried to wrap him up, and he went out and went down and touched his knee, and that's where they called him down there, but he wanted to get up and go. But the officials made the right call, and they did a good job of wrapping up.
And Knowles was over there, number 45, the defensive end, to wrap that up and make the big hit. Brings up a third down and about 7 for the Tigers. 3 receivers to Knuth's right, 1 to his left. He also has Rollinger in the backfield. Looks like a blitz from Swift. He's going to come off the edge. He looks like he was held by number 50. Carlson open over the middle. You're right, Bob. That's a crossing route from Carlson. They have to figure out what's opening up that middle of the field because right now that's where Knuth's targeting and Carlson's wide open every time.
And until we can stop it, Ken, they're going to keep going. I would.
Knuth with a hurry-up offense as he's going to bring everybody to the line right away. Link's a little confused defensively as Carroll's going to switch with Brees, the corners. 3 receivers to Knuth's right, Rollinger in the backfield. Quick pass. Out to Carlson again, his 5th catch of the game. Breaks a tackle. He's going to bring it up all the way across midfield, all the way to about the 46-yard line. Not a first down for the Tigers, but it's going to bring up a 2nd and 1 for them.
You know, we talked about it pregame, Ken. It's very important. You're not going to stop them from getting reception, especially on like that. But you got to wrap up and you got to bring them down, not let them get those extra yards because that's where all the yards came from there on that play.
We'll see if the linebackers can drop a little bit into a zone, just kind of cover that middle and let the safeties play a little bit deeper. Blitz is coming from the defense as they're showing blitz. They're going to bring it off the edge. They're going to give it to Rollinger and right up the middle, first down. As the Lynx were coming off the edge, and I can see the defensive staff. I think they wanted it on a pinch a little bit because they were bringing they were bringing linebackers off the edge and kind of let your defensive ends and your pinch into the nose tackle, and it looks like they did not do that, and that's where that chunky yards came up the middle.
Yeah, right now Harrisburg is running a pretty good offense. We're going to see what the defensive coordinator does to kind of see if we can slow them down a little bit.
Now Carlson in the backfield with Knuth. Carlson with a big first quarter so far. 3 receivers to Knuth's left. Design run from Knuth, quarterback keeper. He's not going to get much, maybe 1, maybe 1.5. But it's going to ultimately bring up a 2nd down in about, they have no half-yard lines, Bob. So they're going to say 2nd and 8. As he picked up 2 yards, design run right behind Carlson there for the quarterback in Knuth.
Okay, here's what I want you to watch, Ken. They've ran those quarterback draws like that a few times. You wait, because pretty quick they're going to fake one of those. The defense is going to crash, and somebody's going to be wide open in the secondary.
Knuth shotgun 4 yards to 5 yards right behind the line of scrimmage. He claps. Nothing there. Looking at the defense. Adjust. Play action to Carlson. Going to go deep. Great defense by Carroll as the intended receiver is Morton, but the senior, number 23, and that's going to be Carroll for your Lynx defense in a big, big play as it was a fairly good throw there by Knuth, just even better play by Ryland Carroll.
Yeah, he was able to reach around the body without wrapping up with the backhand and get the ball knocked away.
Knuth looking to the sideline. So what they do is they spread everybody out. The receivers look at their wristbands. He brings the offensive line and running back with him in the huddle. Knuth breaks the huddle. Carlson right to his right as the up back. 3 receivers to his left. Play action to Carlson. Looking to the right. He wants Try on deep. Great coverage, but even better play by Try on number 84. He was a huge receiver last week. Beautiful throw, though, as he put it to the back shoulder from Knuth. First down, Tigers, and they're going to go hurry up real quick here as they're going to look to the sideline. They want to really try to get the Lynx defense on their heels, and that's where they have them right now. First and goal from the 8-yard line for the Tigers. He has Rollinger in the backfield with him, the traditional running back with him. 3 receivers to his right. He's going to follow Rollinger on the quarterback keeper. He's going to gain about 2 yards. It's going to bring up a second and goal from the 6-yard line.
You know, that's a very safe play. Pick up a couple of yards, get the defense to be thinking about just covering the run, and then you'll see somebody kind of squeeze through to the back of the end zone right over top of the linebackers. 3-4
defense. See if Coach Christensen and his defense climb to the pocket here to stop the run. 2 receivers to his left. He motions Carlson's to his right. He has his tight end with him. He's going to give to Rollinger. Rollinger doesn't have anything. He's going to be brought down and about a gain of about 4 yards. It looked like he had nothing in the beginning, but that cutback gained him 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1.
Looks like we got a timeout, Ken.
It's a timeout because it's the end of the first quarter as both teams trying to even their record at 1-1 on the AAA season here in South Dakota. It's 7-7 here at the 23rd Pigskin Classic in 2023.
You know, just like we thought, 2 very equally matched teams. We got 7-7 after 1 quarter of play. We got to see what the defense can do to adjust because they're getting some yards right up the middle, Ken, which means that either the linebackers crash and cut off the run from the quarterbacks or the running back behind them, or they they crash and cut that off and leaves the middle of the field open for your very good receivers. So we'll see how they do when they make some adjustments here during this timeout here.
So as the first quarter comes to an end, 7-7 ball game, like we talked about, Bob, in the pregame. Boy, both of these teams need this win. You do not want to start 0-2, but this game is fitting the bill right away, early in this AAA season here in South Dakota, as the highest class. Boy, have we had some really good games. You see O'Gorman. Really 77 points in one game. I just haven't heard of that in a long time. I don't know if I've ever heard that in high school. It may be down in Texas or something that happened, but where they have big time football.
And keep in mind, in AAA, Ken, I'm going to let you do this, and we'll talk about this after this play.
Knuth, Rollinger to his left. They have a tight end formation to his right. 3 receivers to his left. Looks like he's going to try to give it kind of on a sidecar here. No, they're going to follow number 28 touchdown.
Yeah, they blew right up the middle, and what he was looking for is if he had an open lane, he's going to take it. If not, he was going to throw it to the back part of the end zone there. But what I was talking about, Ken, is at 77 points, which even makes it more amazing, is that in AAA in South Dakota, they now have a running clock when it gets to be more than 35 points. So pretty much the entire second half of that O'Gorman game, the clock just would have been running.
That's true. I didn't even think about the running clock as number 80. Give me that name again, Bob, as I don't have him on my sheet, and I apologize, folks.
That would be Trey Hansen.
Hansen, the kicker, and it's going to be no good. And I'm telling you, in these tight games, as Hansen misses it, the extra point, it's 13-7 now. That can be a huge factor as we go in. 1 point can decide these games, as we know. It was a close game last week between O'Gorman and the Lynx. It came to a last 9 seconds on the clock last week as O'Gorman drove the field and caught that touchdown in the corner of the end zone. We know 1 point can make the difference in this game. It is 13-7, Tigers with 2 possessions on offense, and they've scored on both of those possessions. And really, as Knuth ran the last one in on that last drive, we look at it, though, Bob, it's really been through the air where they've picked up big yardage.
It absolutely is. They're definitely a passing team, but if they're going to give you the run, if Brandon's going to do that, if I'm Harrisburg coach, I'm running tonight if they're going to give it to me.
And back deep for your Lynx is going to be Nolan Pudwell, along with, it looks like, Delaney, number 5 for your Lynx. Hansen's on to kick for the Tigers, as we're going to work right to left here, and then we'll work left to right on your screen. Pudwell, second return of the game. He's got a big hole. He's going to break it up the middle. He's going to go up about the 22-yard line. He fielded at about the 6-yard line, so he brings it up to the 22, and that's where your Lynx offense is going to start their second possession of this ball game.
You know, that hole was pretty wide, but it closed pretty quickly. Just kind of a score update out in Rapid City. Rapid City Stevens is up on Douglas 14-0 with about 2 minutes to go in the first period.
I formation for Thuy in the Lynx offense. He's going to motion Bayless, his tight end, number 38, to his right. Nelson right behind him. He's going to give it to Veskerna. Veskerna is going to go up to about, we're going to put it right at the 24-yard line, and it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 9 with a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, that was a tough 1 yard there. The offensive line for Brandon really needs to start taking advantage of their size and their strength and pushing around this Harrisburg defense.
Shotgun formation, 2 tight ends set as Nelson and Bayless, your tight ends. They're going to go to 2 receivers to his right. Twins to Thuy's right, and I believe it's going to be false start on the Lynx. They were a little confused as Bonwell Whitty started on the left side of the formation, and Delaney, you could see Delaney, the wide receiver, number 5 for the Lynx, motioning over to get over to the twin set on the right side, and that's where the false start happened. So that's going to be a penalty on the Lynx. It's going to drive the Lynx back 5 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 14 from the 19.
You know, we saw a little bit of this last week early in the game where they kind of struggled to get some plays in, just kind of getting familiar with the offense, but see if they can get it straightened out and get a first down.
Spread formation for the Lynx as Veskerna in the backfield. He's going to get it out of the spread formation. He cuts up, and he's going to gain probably about 6 yards, I would say. Brings it up to about 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 8 now from 2nd and 14, and that's where the Lynx are going to start this 3rd down from the 25-yard line.
Well, Harrisburg is making them run because they're basically taking away the pass game and just trying to challenge them to run, and they're doing a good job right now stopping it.
Thuy with Veskerna in the backfield. He motions Delaney to a trip side. He's going to roll out right, gets a big block. Delaney cuts up, goes to the 30-yard line, and we're going to see where the marker is. He's going to be just short. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 2 for the Lynx, and it looks like they are going to punt and try to play the field position here. Smart move by Coach Christensen, as Haas is going to come out to punt for the Lynx, the left-footed kicker. Back deep is going to be Carlson, and it looks like Tryon, both back deep for the Tigers.
Looks like we got a timeout. Harrisburg.
Timeout, Harrisburg. Early in this game, they're going to take their first timeout of the first half. That's our first timeout of this ball game. And Bob, why don't we talk about a little bit about what you're seeing so far from the Lynx offense? We saw some spread last week. Now we're seeing everything packed in tight. It really looks like they want to establish the run with that I formation with Nelson right behind Thuy and Veskerna right behind him in that I formation.
I would have to wholeheartedly agree. I think they feel that they've got their offensive line is better than their front 7, that they can gain some yards here. But right now they got to get off that block and get in and get those linebackers from hitting the holes to get a little further on their runs. Looks like Haas is back to punt.
Haas back to punt. He's the left-footed kicker, number 48 for the Lynx. Carlson back deep. They just put Carlson. They had Tryon back there. A pooched kick a little bit as there was. We have wind. If you look at your screen, moving right to left here, and that kind of hung that ball up. So the Tigers right now, they're going to get great field position as they're going to cross the 50 and more. They're going to start at their 30-yard line, and that field position just flipped.
It did, actually. It was behind and ended up, it was off the side of his foot. It had a backward spin on it, and it bounced back. And it looks like I think they actually ended up behind the original line of scrimmage.
Thuy shotgun. He's going to have Carlson up to his right, the up back. Also with 3 receivers to his left with Tryon right close to him. Also to his right, he has a receiver. He motions Carlson. Barking out singles. Blitz coming from Swift. There's the blitz. Quick pass to Morton. Morton has a touchdown already in this game. That was Carlson, but that was Morton on that catch out of the trip formation. And it's going to be
flag on the play.
Flag on the play. Let's see what they're going to call. I believe it's going to be a holding, but I don't know if it's a defensive hold or an offensive hold. We're going to see here in just a moment.
Well, the side judge originally pointed to the Harrisburg side of the field, so we shall see.
Holding on the offense, so that's going to drive the Tigers back 5 yards. It's going to bring up a actual first down. That was a first down there. They start at the 30, holding play on that first drive as they try to go to Morton there. And Knuth, shotgun. Carlson right underneath him in the motion. Carlson's the leading receiver in this game. He's got 1 touchdown. Knuth, 3 receivers to his right. Gives it to Carlson. No, it's play action. Heavy pressure. They try to screen pass to Carlson, but number 1 for your Lynx defense comes up big. And give me that name, Bob, as number 1 for the Lynx. We don't even have him on our sheet.
Well, Michael Alpers is number 1 on the roster.
But they have a number 1 on the defense, and we just don't have it. And I apologize. We do. Well, no, they're saying it's Michael Alpers. I know that's not Michael Alpers out there at linebacker. Shotgun formation for Knuth. Carlson right underneath him. He's got 3 receivers to his right. Play action. Great pressure. Beautiful throw. Tries to get Tryon over the middle. Nobody's there. Great coverage by number 17 for the Lynx, Pudwell, the safety. As he's there, he wasn't fooled on that one, Bob. But the pressure is the reason that cut that completely off and an errant throw.
Yeah, he made it definitely threw it too far because he had to get rid of the ball and anticipate where the receiver was going to be.
3rd and 17 from the 37-yard line. Big third down here. I said it was number 1. It's actually number 4, Dowd. It looked like a number 1 from here as the jersey's kind of crumpled in the back and front. You can't really read it.
I totally agree with you, Ken. I looked at it as a number 1 as well.
Rollinger in the backfield. It looks like we have a pistol formation. New quarterback. I think this is just a pistol formation with Carlson as the quarterback, number 10. Rolls right. No, he's going to throw. Puts it up and caught. And we're going to see who caught that. I think it was number 19, Karst. No, it's going to be number 11, Morton, with his 3rd reception of the game. It's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're going to say 4 yards. I would say it's 5 yards. 9:05 to go, first half. Tigers 13-7. They're going to go for it, and that's the Tigers. 3 receivers to Knuth's left. The Lynx faithful that are out here in full attendance tonight climbs to their feet, as you can hear through my microphone. 3 receivers to his left. Carlson up right next to him. Drops back. Looks at Tryon to his left. No, he's going to go to his right. Great defense, though, by number 23. That's going to be Rylan Carroll, the senior, as Knuth tried to find his favorite receiver, actually his second favorite receiver of the night, Morton. It is nullified. Lynx ball.
You know, the other side was screaming that they wanted a pass interference, but the the defensive back got turned around and was looking, and he was actually playing the ball himself like a receiver, and he's got the right to do that, even if he runs into the other receiver, if he's turning back and looking for the ball.
Lynx I formation again, as you've seen all this first half. Thuy under center. Nelson. Veskernav with him. Drops back. Has Delaney wide open over the middle. The crowd goes wild. 10-5 touchdown Lynx as Thuy connects with Delaney, number 5. Tie ball game, 13-13.
I had to look over the field, Ken, because usually about that time we get all excited and there's this ugly yellow stuff that's on the field, but not on that play. And as I was looking, they took away the safety coverage on that one and moved it a little bit towards the linebacker position. And I'm going, this is where I'd go.
The junior Landon Delaney, number 5, came up big last week with over 100 yards receiving also. Haas for the lead. It's good. Lynx 14. Tigers 13, 8:43 to go in this big matchup, this rival matchup as we've seen it grow throughout the last couple of years, Bob. The Tigers coming into Brandon, South Dakota. Your Lynx on a big play from Thuy, the senior, to the junior Delaney. Right up the middle, right up the seam. Give them a little taste of what they've been doing offense. Touchdown.
Yeah, he did a nice job. He went out about 10 yards and kind of did a stutter step like he was going to cut to the outside. The defensive back bit, and he cut right up the gut. And you weren't going to catch him once you get behind him because it's too tough to catch somebody at that speed.
Great play action out of the I formation as Nelson with a big block from that fullback position, and Veskerna deep. That play action's worked now twice, and it's been a catalyst to 2 drives for the Lynx here in this first half, is that play action with big yardage. The first one on the opening series went to Bonwell Whitty. The second one on the third possession for your Lynx in this first half as Thuy hits Delaney, 14-13.
Yeah, that was a great execution, but a good play call.
Haas, kick, up. Carlson looks at as it goes over his head. It's going to be a touchback. Tiger's going to start the ball at the Lynx 20-yard line.
So hopefully the defense has got a little bit of confidence after getting a stop. Now we need to come back and see if we can string 2 of those together so that we can put a little distance between us and the Harrisburg Tigers.
Great blocking from the offensive line. When you hit a deep pass like that, you just have to have phenomenal blocking in that big offensive line. And we'll touch on that at halftime, how big that offensive line is. And Bob will talk about that at halftime since we didn't touch on it in our pregame. Tigers, their 4th possession of the first half. Knuth, 3 receivers to his right. He's got Rollinger with him. 1 receiver to his left is going to be Tryon, the leading wide receiver in AAA coming into this game. Knuth goes to his right on the quarterback keeper, and he's going to gain about 5 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 5.
It is tough to stop that when you've got an athletic quarterback, and they've got 3 people out there to block for you, and they know it's coming, so they're just out manning in, and you got to bring in the linebacker that has to be over there to be able to stop that.
Lynx defense trying to hold. They did hold the last defensive possession as Rylan Carroll in the end zone breaks up a pass on 4th down, gave the Lynx back the ball for that touchdown on offense from the Lynx. Knuth, Rollinger to his right, gives it to Rollinger. And it looks like it's going to be a first down. No, he's going to be a little bit short. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 from about the 29-yard line. 7:50 to go, first half, 1-point game. We talked about maybe that extra point miss by Hansen for the Tigers comes up big. Right now, if the game ended, that's the decider, Bob.
That is absolutely right. Special teams are, again, we kind of talked about those a little bit of pregame. Special teams are a big factor in a football game.
3rd down and 1 from the 29. Knuth, Rollinger right to his left. Watch for the RPO here, play action. 3 receivers to the left. This is a perfect time to do play action. Safeties need to stay up top. And there's going to be a penalty. Let's see what it is. I believe it's going to be
Well, the offense is backing up a little bit.
offensive. They haven't really called it. They're taking their time. Let's see what they call. They're still thinking about it. Sorry, folks.
They're going back.
We're going to tell you we have no idea.
False.
I'm going to call it a false start.
It is a false start.
False start on the Tigers. And as we've seen that a couple times from the Tigers offense, now the Lynx, it becomes manageable for the Lynx defense here on third down. You get that possession back, you can go up by potentially 2 scores going into halftime. You got to stop them here. As the Tigers come out of their huddle. 3 receivers to Knuth's left, 1 to his right. That's Tryon. His favorite receiver in the slot, that's going to be Carlson, number 10. Rollinger right behind him. It looks like he's going to drop back. He's going to go to a quick out. He finds Carlson, first down and more, as he's going to move the chains. His favorite receiver, I don't know how many catches he has. I'm going to say 7, but I'm going to say he's pretty close to over 100 yards, Bob.
Yeah, he's having a big night. I think they're paying some extra attention against Mr. Tryon, and so they're going to take what the defense is willing to give to them, and right now it's Mr. Carlson.
As Tigers are going to take their time in the huddle now, under 6:40 to go this first half, 14-13. Your Lynx here in the 23rd Pigskin Classic here in Brandon, South Dakota. Knuth, 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. That's going to be Rollinger. He gives it to Rollinger, and he's going to break up the middle. No, he's going to be stuffed by number 64. That's going to be Parliament from the nose tackle position, and that's where he's going to be stuffed along with Risty. It's going to bring up a second down and 9.
Yeah, Mr. Parliament did a great job of kind of clogging up the center and pushing them into the hole and then reaching out and grabbing the running back.
Dowd and Swift have played big from the middle linebacker position. It's hard to read those RPOs as Knuth can keep it too, as the Tigers offense is going to break the huddle. 3 receivers. We're always seeing a trip set to one side. That's going to be to his right. He also has Tryon to his left. Carlson in the slot, his favorite receiver. Gives it to Carlson. No. He's going to go up the middle, looks up the middle. Risty with a heavy pressure. He does find Carlson, but it's going to be no gain on the play, and that was all caused by number 57. That's going to be Risty, the defensive end for your Lynx.
So now a big play. We've got third down and what looks to be about 7.
And we'll call it 7 or 8. As the scoreboard says, get loud. It's third down in big red. You can't see it. We can see it. And that scoreboard is beautiful. 5:10 to go. First half. Crowd coming to their feet as the sideline does for your Lynx also. 3 receivers to Knuth's left. He looks to the underneath screen. Doesn't find anybody. Wants to go deep to Carlson. Oh, and that's a beautiful, beautiful catch and throw from Knuth.
Well, they said
Carlson. Carlson really didn't have to adjust. He was double covered, and you can't get a better throw than what Knuth just put it into his bucket right there, Bob.
nope, that was the only place that it wasn't going to get intercepted. But they say he must have got his feet down.
Tigers cross the 50-yard line. First down and 10 from the 35. 3 receivers to Knuth's left. Play action to Carlson. Rolls right. Screen to Carlson. He's going to gain a big chunk of yards as he goes up the sideline. Carlson is the catalyst of this drive, and really for the offense from Knuth to Carlson, it's been all this first half.
Yeah, he's had a big game, and clearly they'll have to make some halftime adjustments. But then what are you going to open up? So anyway, we're going to see what the defensive coordinator can dial up here, but we just need to get a good stop here.
Knuth, 3 receivers to his left. He's got Tryon to his right. Carlson in the backfield with him as that wing position from the running back position. Design run. Trying to find an opening was Knuth. He is swallowed up again by Risty, I believe. Risty's played a big, big game here in the first half, but there is a penalty on the play. I think it's going to be holding on the offensive tackle there from the Tigers. It is holding on number 50, I believe, the right tackle, and that's going to drive the Tigers back on a first down play. It's going to drive them back 5 yards.
We better be 10, Ken.
7, so it's going to bring up second down.
And about 20.
I'd say 20, maybe 17. What do you think?
I think
it is first down and 20 from the 23-yard line. You're exactly right. 3 receivers to Knuth's left, 1 to his right. I believe that's Carlson. Tryon, hard to see the numbers right now as we are going to roll right. He's looking for Tryon, and beautiful play by number 17. That's going to be Pudwell, the safety, as he's broken up 2 deep throws so far in this first half.
Yeah, he was watching that from the safety position, Ken, and he was watching the flight of that ball and went up and knocked it away right at the when the receiver was going up to grab it. So great play back there.
Brings up a second down and 20 like Bob called. I said first down and 17. I don't know what I was talking about, but Knuth with a motion. Morton's caught a couple passes tonight. He's going to come out of that trip formation left to right. It's out of a quad formation 2x2. Knuth rolls left. Looks directly at that wide receiver, but great coverage from your corner, Breest, as he looked for Morton in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Third down and 20.
Yeah, Morton was kind of cutting towards the field goal post, and they threw it to his right shoulder, and he couldn't get around to get it. So good play. I think they're getting some pressure on him, and I think that's making them throw the ball a little sooner than what they would like. So whatever they're dialing up, we got to keep this going.
4:09 to go, first half. Tigers driving. A penalty really set them back 10 yards. So big Lynx defensive stop here is needed on third down. Shotgun, Knuth, screen pass, Rollinger. He is met and upended by the corner. Number 0, that's going to be Breest. His second consecutive big play. Brings up a fourth down and 18.
He did a fantastic job of fighting off the receiver that was blocking him to get in and go down low and take the legs out from underneath the receiver.
Under 4 minutes to go, 3:40 on the clock. Knuth's looking to his right. They're going to go for it on fourth down. And I think they're going to drive this clock all the way down. We'll see. They're going to have to hurry up here as the back judge will see if he starts counting that 5 clock as his hand will go up.
Timeout.
And it's going to be a timeout. Harrisburg. Now, this is a tricky situation. So, as a coach, Bob, I'm trying to put my coaching hat on here on the sideline. 3:27 to go. Do I call a timeout? I know the Lynx have 3 timeouts in their pocket, okay? It's fourth down right now, fourth down and 18. That's not really manageable for an offense, okay? Your chances of getting that are not a high probability. Okay?
Are you saying that there's not a lot of
you just gave the Lynx an extra timeout. That's what I'm saying.
Yep, I agree.
That's what you just did, potentially. And so the Lynx coaching staff has to be delighted on that. We need to stop them, okay, on 4th and 18. We'll see what they do here, if they're going to go for a field goal or if they're going to go for it on fourth down. But 3:27 to go. Lynx, and I'm going to play it out for you folks on this field here. The scenario. Lynx, 3 timeouts in their pocket. Harrisburg Tigers just take a timeout. They're going to go for it as they're coming onto the field now. 4th and 18. The crowd's is rising their feet right in front of us. Big fourth down. You potentially just gave the Lynx an extra timeout. 3:27 to go. Shotgun formation. Knuth, 3 receivers to his left. Rollinger right next to him. And Tryon to his right, the big receiver. He's going to go to Tryon, but he goes to Carlson, touchdown. They saw something out of that trip formation. They rolled everybody to the left. Carlson slipped out of the backfield, across the field. Beautiful play call by the Tigers. Touchdown.
Yeah, complete misdirection. And by the time they noticed what was coming, the linebacker was too far behind.
So I just played out a scenario that completely didn't happen, folks. Sorry. The other scenario happened. The Tigers coaching staff called a great play. Touchdown.
What I was going to ask is how many 3rd and or 4th and 18s do you have in your playbook? Well, evidently they've got at least one. So it looks like the extra point is good.
The extra point is good by Hansen. It is a 20-14 game in this first half of this AAA matchup. Both teams 0-1 coming into this battle. Both ranked 4 and 5. Tigers at 4, Lynx at 5 in the AAA. They have 3 timeouts in their pocket, like we talked about. 3:19 to go. First half, they can drive that field. It's very manageable. At halftime, we got a special guest, folks, as we're going to have the superintendent, Dr. Larson, up here at halftime for a special interview, and one of the city councilmen is going to interview him. That's going to be Colin Steen. So after the band plays, they'll be up here to give that interview. I want you to stay tuned, as Dr. Larson always has tremendous things to say and really good updates on what he has to say about the Brandon Valley school system. And Lynx 3:19 to go in this first half. 20-14 Tigers, up by 6 as Delaney's back deep. Delaney's going to field it at about the 4-yard line. He's going to climb all the way to the 10, breaks the 15, gets up to the 20, and that's where he's going to be stopped right about the 20-yard line. Lynx ball, 3:12 to go, 3 timeouts in their pocket. And Thuy and the offense are going to start their last drive with a big connection from Thuy to number 5, Delaney, up the seam of the field. Those little dots that you see beyond, and they call them the hashes, beyond the numbers there, you see in the middle of your field, and that's where the Lynx opened it up. I formation again, Nelson and Veskerna in the backfield. Gives it to Veskerna, and he's going to gain about 2 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 as they are putting a twin set to the right on that play was Bonwell Whitty and Delaney. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, we'll see what they can dial up to. I know they want to maintain the run game to kind of make the passing game a little more hard to plan, but we need to see what we can get down the field, and looks like they're playing safety double over the
play action. Thuy rolls right. Doesn't find anybody. Smart play by the quarterback. You don't find anybody. Don't force the ball. Just get it out. Live to play another play. 3rd down and 7. 2:30 to go. First half. Tigers 20. Lynx 14.
Yeah, the secondary of Harrisburg definitely took away the inside cut for Delaney on that one, so he had no place to go. Delaney was coming back. They just couldn't get the ball down the field long enough to make that the reception.
Shotgun formation for Thuy. 2 receivers to his left. That will be Bonwell Whitty, and Alpers in the slot. He has Delaney right to his right. Drop back. Finds his receiver. Just out of his hands. Beautiful throw, though, to Bonwell Whitty. Incomplete as a big hit by number 25 for the Tigers defense.
Levi Danielson.
Levi Danielson comes from his safety position and makes a big hit on Bonwell Whitty. Incomplete. Haas is in to punt for the Lynx. So as you go into halftime, you want to make sure that you protect it to a 1-score game, Bob. 2:25 to go. 1 timeout remaining for the Tigers.
We need to get a good punt here.
Try on back deep. It's Carlson with him. Fair catch by Carlson at the 36-yard line, and that's where the Tigers are going to start with the ball at the Brandon Valley 36.
Yeah, that was a much better punt than the last time. Just kind of a score update, Ken, out in Rapid City. Rapid City Stevens 35, Douglas 0. And that's at the end of 1 period of play.
And remember, at halftime, the Brandon Valley Marching Lynx, they always put on a great performance. They'll be marching at halftime. We'll bring that live to you. Also, Dr. Larson, the superintendent of your Lynx, will be on with an interview from Councilman Colin Steen here at halftime after the band marches on the field.
So it'll be interesting to see what Harrisburg's going to do. They've got a couple of minutes. They've got a timeout. Do they get aggressive and try to get another score before halftime? I think I would. you're carrying a little momentum. You got a defensive stop. You just got a trick play for a touchdown. Right now the momentum's all on you.
36-yard line, first down and 10, 2:18 to go. One timeout for the Tigers. It's a 20-14 game. Lynx defense really has got to protect the up top here. Let's see how many DBs they have, defensive backs they have. They're going to stay in their 3-4. And let's see if they dial up a little bit of pressure to get Knuth kind of out of that pocket. Play action, Knuth. Looks deep again. Caught by number 81. Sorry, that's going to be number 81 for the Tigers.
Looks like Braden Friedley.
Braden Friedley with a big catch.
Correction, Feldy, my mistake.
Feldy, number 81, as Knuth went up top. We just talked about that right before that play happened. You got to protect the up top. That's where Knuth is connecting on big throws. That's been really the catalyst of their whole offense so far in this first half. Shotgun formations, first down and 10 from the 13, under a minute 40 to go in this first half. Knuth, quarterback keeper, he's going to follow his running back, but he's going to be swallowed up by number 64, I believe. That's going to be Parliament. Yeah, it's going to be actually Risty. Risty moved to the nose tackle in these passing downs, so now you have Risty at the nose tackle, number 57. He's been all over the field. He's played some defensive end and nose tackle as he's there on that stop on the quarterback keeper. 1:10 to go. One timeout for the Tigers. Moves Carlson. That's going to be Knuth underneath him. Quarterback keeper again. They're trying to find the outside. They do. I think it's going to be a holding call, though, as the Tiger sideline really
it was
are
deep.
Looking at the refs right now and wondering why.
It was deep in the end zone where the flag came from the back judge.
As the Lynx defense is going to stay out in the field, we'll see what the call is.
Holding offense number 4.
Holding offense number 4. That's going to be Weedy, the wide receiver, as that quarterback keeper, kind of that sweep, that sweep that they do with the running back as the up back, and Knuth keeping it to the right there, and it's going to be nullified by that holding call. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 7, and the ball's on the 10-yard line right at 1 minute to go. 3 receivers to Knuth's left, and he's got Carlson as his up back to his right. He motions Carlson to his left. He's got Tryon to his right, number 84, the single receiver to his right. Drops back, quarterback keeper again. He's going to be balled up and stopped by that defense for the Lynx. Risty again on the stop, along with the linebacker for the Lynx. That's going to be number 4, Dowd.
Yeah, that was a good job by the linebacking crew, kind of keeping an eye and spying on the quarterback for Harrisburg and cutting him down when he's breaking it down and running.
Time is winding now. 40 seconds to go in this first half. 20-14. Tigers over to the Lynx. Knuth with 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, along with Carlson. Gives it to Carlson, and he's going to burst up the middle. Brought down by number 28, I believe. And that's for the Lynx. That's going to be Leary with a big tackle. Bring up a 4th down and 3 from the 6-yard line, and they're going to wind that clock. And I assume they're going to take a timeout. No, they're going to go right to the line of scrimmage. 4th down and 3, 10 seconds to go. Knuth with 3 receivers to his left. He's going to look for Tryon in the corner of the end zone. Is it caught? No, it's broken up by number 0. That's going to be Brees. Brees and Carroll, both corners, have coming up big, and that's going to take us into halftime as your Lynx defense comes up with a big stop. After that, turnover possessions gave the Tigers a big throw on the opening drive there, as it's going to boil it down to halftime. We'll see. All teams aren't going off the field, though. The clock says 0. Let's see what we're doing here.
Well,
Lynx offense is going to come out to the field. They must say it's going to be 3 seconds. They're going to put 3 seconds on the clock. As the Lynx offense, I believe Coach Christensen and the Lynx coaching staff are going to take a knee and say, okay, we're only down 6. It's a one-possession game. Let's go into halftime with this. We came up with a big stop. No negative plays, no turnovers here for a touchdown. Let's just kneel it. Let's go into the locker room, reset, and come out. And that's what he does. So Thuy takes a knee. That's going to do it for your first half of the 23rd annual Pigskin Classic here in Brandon, South Dakota. And it is a 20-14 game. Both teams coming into this ball game 0-1. They both need that win to stay in the top 5, Bob, and go 1-1 on the season so you don't start 0-2. 20-14. Your Lynx are behind the Tigers right now, and the Lynx are going to reset in offense. I'm going to let Bob here while the band is setting up for their performance here at halftime. Go over the offensive line a little bit. We want to talk about, Bob, and then we're going to have Colin Steen, the councilman, interview Superintendent Dr. Larson here after the band plays their performance. Go ahead, Bob.
You know, one of the keys to the game we talked about is the offensive line of Brandon Valley using their size. Well, across the front, they've got 275, 280, and then 3 other offensive linemen that are well over 300 pounds. Considerably bigger than the 250, 250, and 210 of the defensive line of Harrisburg. So we definitely need to see if in the second half, if we can get them tired, we can see if we can push them around a little bit, allow the running game to kind of set up the passing game versus the opposite way around, which seems to be what they're going right now. But we've got some big fellas up front. It's time for them to start imposing their will.
I agree. As the marching band is going to come to the field here, and really the two offenses have been catalyzed by a host of really good receivers as Carlson and Morton from the Tigers from Knuth, but you've really seen from the Brandon offense, you've seen Thuy open up to Delaney big time and hitting their tight end also, number 38, Bayless. So we're going to bring you the Brandon Lynx marching band as they're going to perform on this 23rd annual Pigskin Classic. Enjoy.
Abby Christensen, Liz Kloon, Anna Tooze, Mason Inslee, Carson Yonke, and Carson McKella. Drum majors, Jackie Stinwell, Ian Candy, Isaac Cody, and Alexa Vera Weisman. Is your band ready?
Brandon Valley Marching Lynx, you may now take the field in exhibition.
All right, and that is your Lynx Marching Band and their performance on this 23rd annual Pigskin Classic here in Brandon, South Dakota on this steamy Saturday evening. What a performance by the Lynx Marching Band. Now we have a special guest, like we talked about when we were in our telecast in the second quarter there, as we have the superintendent, Dr. Larson, on for an interview here, and Councilman Colin Steen is going to take over that interview for us, and we're going to bring them live right now.
Well, good evening. How you doing, Dr. Larson?
I'm doing well. How are you,
Good.
Mr. Steen?
I'm doing well. Man,
Awesome.
it's always good to see your face. Boy, we go way back. It's fun to see that. Back in our college days, we were there at Northern State University for a little bit of time, so it's fun to see you grow, and now here you are. How many years now you've been superintendent of Brandon Valley School District?
I've been in the Brandon Valley School District for 8 years.
That's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
good. Well, you've done an amazing job. I've got 3 kids in the system, but so tell us a little bit about the season this year, or the school year. How's the first week been going?
Got off to a really fantastic start. Overall, we were really happy and satisfied with the work done this summer by our buildings and grounds crews and our maintenance staff. We were able to get the high school construction project that we wrapped up here just recently, right before the school start. Got that across the finish line. So that was certainly exciting. But overall, it's been a tremendous start to the school year. Really appreciate all of our families and our parents watching the pickup drop-off videos and taking their time during the morning commute and the afternoon pickup. You know, that's something that we always takes a little time to get into the groove, but once everybody does, we're able to move really smoothly and safely. So overall, been a great start to the school year, Colin.
Oh, it's great to hear. It's great to hear. And what is roughly enrollment this year?
Sure. It's a great question. So we're just up over 5,000 students. Right now we are looking at approximately 31 or 2 more students than what we had last year. I would tell you that is light in comparison to what our budget projection was when we took a look at this school year. So we are in a situation where we're going to have to tighten our belt. We're going to have to take a look at some priorities and make some decisions, and ultimately operate in a fiscal responsible manner. We take great pride in being stewards of tax dollars, and there'll be a little challenging work to go to get that righted. But I have no doubt we're going to take it head on and continue to put ourselves in a good position financially. So. Enrollment's up, but not quite up as much as we want, which would lead me to you and your respective role on the city. We are very, very excited about a number of developments that we got brewing here in Brandon. So that's a really exciting thing, and certainly appreciate the cooperative partnership with the city.
Right. Sounds a little bit like my role with City Council, that we're dealing with a lot of the same things, trying to be good stewards of what the good Lord gives us.
Yep.
You know, we're such a great community, obviously, in Brandon. And, you know, for me personally, one of the main reasons my wife and I moved to Brandon is, one, we wanted to be close to Sioux Falls for my job, but
Sure.
the Brandon Valley School District is what brought us here. So kudos and what you guys done from the school district and attracting, because I know across the state the respect that Brandon Valley School District does have. So another quick question for you. Positions across the board. Were you able to fill most of the teaching positions or clerical positions?
Yeah, absolutely. So we started the year fully staffed with certified staff, which is our teachers, our therapists, those respective folks. So certified staff, classroom teachers, we were booked out. And filled all of our respective positions. We do have a few classified positions still available. And lastly, we definitely could use a bus driver or 2. So you look like you could operate a school bus, Colin. What do you think?
Well, you know, if I can get my kids to not want me to ride my bike with them to school every single day, but hey, I tell you what, the bus drivers that are out there. You know, my daughter's in kindergarten this year, and she wants to ride her bike with her older brothers, and so we ride together in the mornings, and bus drivers are the first ones to stop at a crosswalk when we're wanting to cross a major artery in Brandon. So kudos to them and for the city. But no, we're excited about this school year. It's been great. One other quick question for you. How about from expansion standpoint? How we coming out there? Things that you can disclose to us on how Brandon School District is expanding.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have obviously a growing student enrollment. Like I said, this year we're up 30 kiddos, and ultimately what we're looking at is, for the short term, is a new elementary on the east side of Brandon. And the reason that that's necessary is because Robert Bennis Elementary is nearing capacity. So we're getting real close to that 600 full mark there at Robert Bennis Elementary. So we need to alleviate capacity out of Robert Bennis, sorry. And in Eastside Elementary will do that. So we're going to pull student capacity out of Robert Bennis Elementary, and then ultimately Valley Springs Elementary will close at that respective time, and those kiddos and all those staff members would come to the Eastside Elementary. So really a seamless transition into that new building. We expect to bid that out here, I would say probably sometime in December, and then ultimately start construction here this spring once it thaws. So that's very exciting. In addition to that, I would tell you that we have an intermediate school that we'll build on the south side of the school district in the next few years. Sure. So that'll be the project after the elementary school. But what I would really do is I would really encourage folks to take a look at BV Vision 2040, which is ultimately our long-range facility plan. It outlines how we stay one high school for the next couple of decades, and that's really important to our community and something that they've prioritized since the first day I stepped in. So I feel really good about the long-term strategic plan that we've outlined for facilities to accommodate growth here in the Brandon Valley School District.
Sure. Well, thank you for your leadership when it comes to that. You know, we're talking a lot of school stuff. Now, Jared, I know you were a heck of a quarterback back in your day. So give me a little bit of analysis the first half of what you thought from the Lynx and the Tigers here this first half.
Well, you know, I guess what I would tell you is I thought we played hard. I thought we played well. I got to clean up just a couple little things, and they'll come out and take care of business. There's been some very impressive back end defensive play. You know, our D-backs have done a nice job in a couple of circumstances where there was a lot on the line, for lack of a better phrase. So proud to see that. But what a great crowd! What a great community event! You know, this just embodies so much of what our school district and our community are all about. And folks always ask, you know, what leads to your success in school? And I would tell you that it's all about community. In addition to staff, I mean, it's a puzzle, and it takes everyone to make it go. And we're a special place, and we're blessed because of the community that we have, the leadership that we have in and around the community, and all sorts of different groups. And just really appreciate the partnership we have, Colin.
Yeah. Thanks, Jared. Hey, and thank you for your leadership. You know, on behalf, I'm kind of filling in a little bit for Mayor Harry Buck. Asked me to come in and thank him for the opportunity to speak to you, because obviously our roots go back in our younger years. But appreciate your leadership on behalf of Mayor Buck and City Council and the staff down on Main Street here in Brandon. We are very, very appreciative of what you guys do for this community and the partnership that the city and the school district have. We know we're all in this together. And the bottom line is things like this, where we get to stay out here it's cooling off a little bit, so it's not so humid and hot, but it's it's a gorgeous evening tonight, and it's great to see a great crowd and to see a rival like Harrisburg come across town and put on a good show. So we're hoping for a good half. We'll send it back to the Lynx TV crew, and we'll be back right after this.
And thanks to, and what an interview. What an interview from Colin Steen, the city councilman, and our special guest was Dr. Larson, the superintendent of schools here in Brandon Valley. So we're going to kick off this second half in just a little bit here as the Tigers walked into halftime 22 22-14. It's a 6-point game on this big matchup as two rivals walk into this beautiful evening, steamy evening. Both 0-1, looking to go 1-1, and what a big game it is for both teams. See what the adjustments are going to be, and that's all. Coaching 101 is the teams that make the right adjustments at halftime win football games, and that's just what it is, especially on a tight game. And we'll see what the Lynx coaching staff does to adjust to some of those kind of RPO plays that are play action that are kind of opening up in the backfield. We see in the defensive backfield from the wide receiving core for the Tigers, as we've seen that defense tighten up a little bit in the back end of the second quarter, as Breest and Carroll have done a really good job from the cornerback position. For the Lynx offense, it's been all really Thuy from the passing perspective at the quarterback position, hit Delaney on that big pass, and also that was the second touchdown of the first half for the Lynx, and also he hit his tight end on a crossing pattern in the end zone after a Lynx big drive, and he hit his tight end, and that was number 38, Bayless, on his first catch of the season, I believe, and that was a touchdown. What do you think, Bob?
You know, that was a good play execution because they kind of faked a jab into the line. The linebackers pulled up, and he was open in the back end of that end zone. It was an excellent play design and execution. I think we've got an interesting half of football to go. Good football teams make halftime adjustments to what the other team's doing and to kind of slow them down. It's going to be tough for the Harrisburg team because do you stop the quarterback on the run? Do you stop Carlson either in the backfield, or he's been definitely their main go-to receiver, or do you go to the guy that got you there last week who had nine catches for like 172 yards, something like that last week? So it's going to be an interesting half of football, but I think Brandon is going to still want to use their offensive line to establish the running game a little bit, get those linebackers and safeties to kind of pull up just a little bit so that you can hit some of that downfield passing.
Interesting, as I put on my coaching hat again, it didn't work the last time when I put it on in the second quarter, but put your coaching hat on here as you think about what the coaching staff is going to adjust to offensively. I'd almost come out in the spread offense and give them a little wrinkle. Make that they're used to that real tight formation. Give them a little wrinkle. You know you can go back to that tight formation, that I formation, double tight end set sometimes, but with Nelson and Veskernaw, the running back in the backfield. Maybe go to a spread a little bit, get Alpers in number one on the field, along with Delaney and Bonwell Whitty, and let's open up that offense a little bit. Thuy, we know last week he had a great game passing the ball and was super efficient. Maybe put it in the hands of Thuy a little bit more. I know everybody wants to run the ball, but sometimes you got to give them a little bit of a wrinkle. They think you're going to come out in that I formation, that tight formation. Give them a little surprise. Make their defensive backs now cover and kind of spread that out and see if that opens up your running game a little bit. Get the linebackers, the safeties a little bit wider, a little bit deeper, and so they're not crawling up to the line of scrimmage there, or say creeping, crawling, whatever you want to call it, and trying to stop the run.
You know, I would totally agree with you, Ken. That's really all we saw last week was the spread offense, which opened up Veskerna for his big game of over 100 yards because they had to respect all of the passing game going on. So maybe you'll see that change at halftime. We'll have to see what Coach Christensen dials up for the second half, because it ought to be interesting to see who's looks like they're going to get the ball to start the second half and see where the Lynx can go on offense.
Lynx are going to start with the ball. Kickoff is about to happen on this big I almost said double A, triple A matchup. I'm used to saying double A a few years back, Bob. Back when we started this whole Lynx TV, and hats off to everybody that started this. I remember being in a little boardroom with the AD, Harry Buck, and a few others trying to get this thing kicked off, and we got it kicked off. And wow, what Lynx TV has become since then has just been amazing. The students that run the cameras for us are doing a great job. Paul Burnt does a great job setting everything up. So hats off to everybody. I remember that little room. We started it in the school there. And look where we're at today. So we're calling this game. We're proud to bring it to you. We'll bring you the sponsors here in just a little bit. The interview took that time for the sponsors, but I promise we will get to you as number 80. That's going to be Hansen for the Tigers. He's going to kick off with Pudwell and Delaney back deep for the Lynx. It's going to be Pudwell from about the 7. He's going to bring it up. He breaks open. He's breaking open. He breaks a tackle. He's going to go up to the 40, 42-yard line. He's going to end up at great field position. They're going to say 41-yard line, and that's where the Lynx are going to start their second half offense.
You know, he was one person away from breaking that one, Ken. They made an arm tackle, and that was the only thing that slowed him down enough for to get some help. But
and he almost broke that one, Bob. Offensively, big plays from Delaney and Bonwell Whitty to start that offense in the second half. Bonwell Whitty and Delaney to his right eye formation, same formation they started the first half and went with the first half. Play action, looking deep. Finds Bonwell Whitty, and it is bobbled. They're going to say, is it caught? It is incomplete. A little bit low. He sure could have grabbed that. It's going to be incomplete. It's going to bring up a second down and 10 from the 41.
You know, that was a good play call. They had the linebackers crush the line for the fake handoff, and then he was wide open. He had some ways to go, but you got to catch the ball first before we run.
Play action has been prevalent all first half for the Lynxes. That's when they've hit the deep balls to Bonwell Whitty and Delaney for the touchdown. Pistol formation. He's got Nelson a little bit of a different formation as Veskernaw right behind him. Play action again. Finds his tight end. That's going to be Bayless, and Bayless is going to pick up about 9 yards for his second catch of the game. This first catch was a touchdown in the first quarter. That's going to bring, I believe it's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a penalty. I think it's going to be a holding call, though, and that's going to nullify those 9 yards, and it's going to be holding on the Lynx. So that's going to bring up a second down and 11 now, or actually way more than that. It's going to bring up a second down in about, what do you think, 21?
Probably about, I would say 20.
Yeah, second and 20 from the 31-yard line. They're going to wind the clock as you see the white hat from the reffing crew in the back of your quarterback, Thuy. Shotgun. Wants Bonwell Whitty, looks for Elpers, rolls out to his right, finds anything, he goes up top to Bonwell Whitty. Great catch, first down and more. They cross the 50-yard line, no penalty on the play. Beautiful throw as Thuy with the play action out of the pistol formation rolls right, finds Bonwell Whitty, and he doesn't miss that one. Great catch. They cross the 50-yard line. First down all the way to the 33-yard line, and that's where the Lynx will start this first down possession.
You know, he kind of cut off his route, and when he saw that the Thuy was breaking out and scrambling, he raised his hand up and just started sprinting down the field and got open. Great
Three
catch.
Receivers to Thuy's left. Veskernaw, handoff, draw, picks up a chunk of yards. He's going to gain about 6 yards. Great first play on that running game. That's going to bring up second and way manageable. 2nd and 4, Bob. Your whole playbook pops wide open when you have a 2nd and 4.
It absolutely does. A lot more plays in that particular playbook versus a 4th and, say, 18.
4th and 18 or even 3rd and 18 as the Lynx are going to come out of the huddle. They're going to say 2nd and 5. Your playbook still opens up big time. 2 receivers to Thuey's left. He's got Veskernaw right behind him. Delaney to his right. Looks at his tight end. No, he's going to find Delaney. It's going to be a first down and more. He's going to gain, it looks like, about 11 yards. That's going to move the chains all the way down to about the 17, they're going to call it. First down, Lynx.
Great play call. They're definitely just playing the defensive backs one-on-one with Delaney on the outside, no help from the safety, and they can take those all night long until that safety has to come over and help.
2 tight ends set for your Lynx. Veskernaw is going to be in the backfield. Now they motion Nelson to the I formation. Thuey under center. Gives it to Veskernaw. He's going to follow Nelson. It's going to be a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards. They're going to say 3 yards, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 7. I do like that they're trying to still establish the run. They're not getting out of their game plan. I told them to go into the spread formation. They did give us a little bit of spread formation as Alpers came in that trip set a couple plays ago. So we've seen a little bit of mixing on the formations from the Lynx, but they go back to that I formation. 2nd and 8 from the 15. Shotgun formation now for Thuey. He's got Veskernaw right to his left. Bonwell Whitty. No, he's going to look for his tight end up the middle. Just out of the reach, and that's going to be Nelson. Nelson lines up from his fullback position. He goes to the tight end position, so they go 2 tight end set. Just out of the reach in the end zone. Brings up a 3rd and 8.
What a great play call. Just overthrew him just a little bit, but he had a touchdown there.
Alpers is going to come into the game, number 1 for the Lynx. They're going to come out of that 2 tight end set now. No, Bonwell Whitty is going to come out. So as the Lynx go into the huddle, Thuey's going to break that huddle. I formation again as you're going to have Nelson and Veskernaw directly behind Thuey. He motions Bayless to his left. That's going to be your tight end. Delaney, Alpers, give it to Veskernaw. Big block from Nelson. But I think there's going to be a holding call on the offensive line. I've seen the flag come in from the ref directly behind the linebackers, so we'll see what this call is. And as they're still having a conversation about it, I think it's going to be holding, though. As the Lynx, I think, are going to go to a spread formation here. No, Alpers is going to come out. Bonwell Whitty's back in. Holding on number 75.
But they declined it. Brings up 4th.
It's going to be 4th down now in about 5 yards. Interesting play here is you just gave, I know it's a loss of a down, okay, and you could have drilled them back a little bit 10 yards. But they're gonna say, the Tigers defensive staff's gonna say, hey, we want our defense to come to play here. Lynx are gonna say no. Go to Bonwell Whitty. Touch. Oh, just out of the reach. I almost called it, Bob. Did you hear it? Touch. I didn't say down, though.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You wanted to.
Incomplete. Beautiful throw, though, by Thuey. He put it where only Bonwell Whitty was going to catch it, out of the reach of the defensive back's hands also. But that's going to be a turnover on downs for your Lynx. Tigers are going to come out with the ball at about the 12-yard line. That's where we're going to start their offense.
All right,
Knuth in the offense coming to the line. He's got Rollinger right behind him, along with 3 receivers to his right and 1 to his left. 3-4 defense for your Lynx. 4 linebackers. Swift back into the game. He was on the sideline, a little banged up in the second quarter. Goes right to his favorite receiver, Carlson, in this game. He picks up a first down and more. I would say about 16, 17 yards. That's going to be a first down out of that kind of screen pass, out of that trip set. First down for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's a bubble screen, and they just don't have enough players over there to defend it. So they send the 3 out, they throw it behind them, the receivers block, and they're getting big yards on it. I think we saw a little bit of that last week, Ken.
We did, as 3 receivers are going to go to Knuth's left. He's got Rollinger right in the pistol, right directly behind him, along with Tryon, number 84. Blitz coming from Swift, as you can see. He creeps to to the middle of the line. Quick pass to Carlson. Second consecutive pass. Breaks the tackle. He's off to the races. And the last one to beat would be Carroll, but Carroll pushes him out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. Boy, Carlson is the feature tonight, and he is really, really taking advantage of all those catches. It's really the run after the catch with him.
You know, we talked about that at the start of the game, that's going to be crucial, and they've missed some key tackles, wrapping them up and getting them down after the initial catch. So got to see what we can do to get a stop here.
3 receivers to Knuth's right. He's got Rollinger again right directly behind him. Gives it to Rollinger. Rollinger gets a block, and he breaks a tackle. Bounces to the outside, as that's going to be we'll get your number here real quick, number 17. That's going to be Pudwill from his safety position coming up and make the tackle, but the Tigers do gain about 5 yards there as Rollinger broke a couple tackles. The Lynx were right there as Risty had him in his grasp, but Rollinger breaks that tackle.
Yeah, again, they had an opportunity to get him in the backfield, and they're letting those opportunities get away.
3 receivers to Knuth's left. You've heard that all night from my voice, and it's no different in this third quarter. 7:50 to go. Rollinger right behind him. Gives it to Rollinger, but he is met in the backfield by number 45, the defensive end. That's going to be Knowles. And that's going to be a loss of yards. That's going to be a loss of about 2 yards. They're going to bring up about 3rd and 7 now on the 31. Big defensive stop. We need it from your Lynx defense. The crowd needs to come alive here. Sideline needs to come alive because you do not want to go down 2 scores when it's a 2014 game. I know it's early in the third quarter, but this is the next crucial play for your Lynx defense. 3-4 defense, 3 receivers to Knuth's right. Little bubble screen to Carlson. It's worked all night, and it worked there. As he picks up the first down, number 10, that's going to be Carlson. I would assume he's got over 12 catches right now, well over 100 yards receiving so far through 2.5 quarters for Carlson. As your screen there, you see number 10, the wide receiver for the Tigers, closest to the line of scrimmage, to the offensive line there out of that trip set. Knuth again with trips to his left, 1 receiver to his right. Quarterback draw, follows Rollinger, breaks it open over the middle. He is met. It's not going to be a first down. It's going to bring up a second down, as I believe number 28 was on the tackle. That's going to be Leary for the Lynx. He is limping. He's going to come to the sideline, and that's going to be a gain of 8. Brings up a second down and 2 from the 15-yard line. We're going to boil this quarter down. It's already down to 6 minutes. Lynx had just had a possession. They failed on 4th down, gave the Tigers the ball, and the Tigers are driving. 3 receivers to Knuth's right. He's also got Carlson now in the backfield with him. They play that draw. Nope, they don't find it. He wants to find Tryon. He does. I believe it's going to be moving the chains. He's going to pick up about 7 yards on that quick slant out of that single receiver set opposite of the trips. That's going to be number 84, Titan Tryon. He had a big game last game. He had, I believe it was, can you give me the, Bob, it looks like 9 catches for 172 yards, and he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Tonight it's been all Carlson from the receiver position. Carlson along with Knuth in the backfield. He motions Carlson underneath him. Quarterback draw. He keeps it. He's going to be met by Dowd, the middle linebacker, and he's going to be stopped. We're going to bring up a 2nd and goal from about, I believe they're going to mark it down to about the 6-yard line. No, they're going to say the 4-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 4.
Yeah, they're just trying to impose their will and kind of wear on the defense a little bit. They got a lead. They don't have to be in any big of a hurry here.
Rollinger in the ball game now, the running back for the Tigers, as you have 2 receivers to his right. You also have a tight end now, and the quarterback draw. Big blitz, though, from number 45. That's going to be Knowles. Knowles from that nose tackle position. He's playing nose tackle now for Parliament as he comes shooting in. Kind of makes Knuth adjust on that quarterback keeper. They love that quarterback keeper, especially within the 5 to 10 yard mark. We've seen a lot of that from Knuth. It's going to bring up a big third down and goal from the 2 yard line. Under 4:15 to go, third quarter.
Yeah, their offensive line is kind of pushing Brandon back a little bit. They're kind of imposing their will on the defense.
Knuth, Rollinger to his left, 2 receivers to his right. We'll see if he does the quarterback keeper here. No, he's going to give to Rollinger. Up the middle, down at the 1. Big stop. Going to bring up a 4th down now. And it's going to be 4th and goal from about the 1 or the half-yard line. Hurry up offense, Knuth. Wonder if it's going to be a quarterback draw here quick. It is. Touchdown.
Boy, he was untouched going through there, Ken.
Knuth goes to the line, hurry up offense, runs to his left. We called it, Bob, up here. Quarterback keeper, they love it inside the red zone. It is now a 2-score game, 26-14. Tigers capitalize on a big drive, ate up a lot of clock. I would say about 5 minutes on the clock in the third quarter. We're at 3:32. It's 26-14. Hansen on to kick. He's already missed 1 extra point for the Tigers. That's number 80 on your screen to the left. Up, no good. Second missed extra point, as it is a 12-point game. 26-14, 3:32 to go, third quarter. Bob, you want to go over to the Lynx TV sponsors?
Absolutely. Lynx All-American sponsors are Alliance Communications, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling, Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. Our Lynx MVP sponsors are First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health in Brandon, Sanford Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and the Lynx champion sponsors, Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance, Josh Koob Agency, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Heartland Funeral Home, Horizon Pet Care, Quick Star, Sunshine Foods, and today's Family Dentistry. Thank you to all of our sponsors for making this broadcast and all of them this year and every year possible with your support of Lynx.
For wrestling, we saw wrestling from Lynx TV, soccer, we've seen the marching band, we've seen volleyball so far this year. We haven't seen wrestling yet, sorry. That will come. You'll see boys basketball, and I believe Bob might correct me, but I think I know. Bob and I will be bringing you those boys basketball games in the kind of winterish months. I know nobody wants to hear that, but it is coming. It will always be here in South Dakota. It's not going to go away. It's about still 93, I think, degrees. I haven't checked my handheld device that I have here, that I double it as a phone over here. But it's still steamy up in the box here. Hansen with the kick. Delaney's going to take it about the 6. He's going to break up to about the 15. Breaks a tackle. He's going to go over to the 20 all the way to about the 23, 24-yard line. And that is where the Lynx are going to start this possession on offense with 3:25 to go in the third quarter. This is a big possession for the Lynx offense. They need to come up with points here, as they are down 12 points in this 11 AAA matchup on the 23rd annual Pigskin Classic. Thuy, shotgun, 2 receivers to his left, Bonwell, Whitty, and Delaney. Play action. Looks to Bonwell, Whitty, goes out of the hands of Delaney. Delaney thought it was to him. Bonwell, Whitty breaks a tackle up the sideline. He cuts back all the way to about the 48-yard line. Great move by Bonwell, Whitty. We were focusing on it going through the hands of Delaney and getting to Bonwell, Whitty, and Bonwell, Whitty was saying, no, I'm just going to go grab more yards and break tackles, and he does that, and they're going to say he was out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. Big gainer from the Lynx on that first down.
You don't think that was a designed play to go through the hands of the first receiver into the second receiver?
Absolutely it was, Bob. As I formation, Pigskin breaks it. 2 big plays consecutive, but I think we have a penalty flag on the field. I believe that's going to bring it back, and it's going to be holding, I believe, on the Lynx as Veskernaw breaks it open for the biggest play on the ground for the Lynx so far. It may be nullified, and it is. Holding on your Lynx offensive line.
It looks like maybe that's what sprung him to the outside and allowed him to get those yards.
So it's going to be first down from about the 31-yard line now. It's going to be first down and 16, 3:05 to go. Third quarter, 26-14. Tigers over the Lynx. Veskernaw in the backfield. They're going to motion Nelson and Bayless, the tight end. I formation now. Thuy under center. Veskernaw, lead block from Nelson. He picks up a chunk of yards. I believe he picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards. They're going to say 5 yards, so it's going to bring up a second down and 11. They almost gained those yards back that were nullified on that holding call, and it's going to be a second down and 11 for your Lynx offense coming off of that big play from Bonwell Whitty up the sideline from that catch from Thuy. Second and 11, 26-14, 2:30 to go, third quarter. Shotgun formation for Thuy. He's got Veskernaw in the backfield with him. He's got 3 receivers to his left. He gives it to Veskernaw. He's going to get to the original line of scrimmage. We'll see. I'm looking at the side judge on the far end. He has a little bit different. He moves a little bit because he had him at no gain. The side judge on the Lynx side had him at a 1-yard gain, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to put it at the 1-yard gain. Third down and 10 from the 47, under 2 minutes to go, third quarter. 3 receivers to Thuy's left. Pistol formation. Snap. Drop back. Heavy pressure. Looks up top. He's got his receiver overthrown as he was looking for his other tight end, and that's going to be number 13, Anderson, as he wanted to go to his big tight end, Anderson, over the middle, and it's just out of his reach. Lynx are going to bring on Haas to punt. I agree. If you don't go past the 50-yard line, let's punt it. Let's play a little field position here. Plenty of time in this game. 1:37 to go, third quarter, 26-14. Tigers over the Lynx. Punt from Haas. As it's going to be Carlson deep. He's going to let it roll beyond him. Good punt by Haas. Is he going to bring it down all the way down to about the 12-yard line? And that's where the Tigers are going to start with their offense from the 12-yard line.
I think it's time to see our first turnover of the game, Ken.
Yeah, we haven't had a turnover, have we?
No, we didn't.
Super surprising in a game like this, a tight game. You usually see, I'm not saying players are giving up the ball, but you usually see 2 really good defense, 2 really good offenses. You usually see some turnover battle. Maybe that'll come here, hopefully.
I'd like to see a interception on one of these long passes and get the ball back, get a little momentum going.
First, you got to stop that bubble screen. That bubble screen's been dangerous all night to Carlson out of that trip set. You see him that he's there right now, as they're going to tighten Tryon to the formation at a tight end set. We'll see if they motion him over. They do. Rollinger is going to be in the backfield with Knuth, 3 receivers to his right. Give it to Rollinger. Breaks it open. Breaks up to a seam, and he's going to gain about 8 yards as he's going to be brought down by the corner, number 0, Breest. It's going to be a pickup of about 8 yards. It's going to bring up a second down and 2 with under a minute to go in this third quarter. Second and 1, at the 17.
Yeah, that was a good gain. When you can gain 8, you can open up the playbook here, so don't be surprised if you see a play action pass and a long pass down the field.
Shotgun formation for Knuth. 45 seconds to go, third quarter. Brings Carlson now in the backfield underneath him. We'll see if they run that bubble screen. They look to it. No, they're going to go up top to Tryon. Beautiful pass, beautiful catch, and it looks like it's going to be a touchdown. As it was busted coverage from Brees, number 0, the corner. No safety high. They go up top to the single receiver and Tryon. It's now 32-14 Tigers.
You know, that was an excellent pass. He created separation on the outside. He didn't have any help over the top in the form of a safety. I think we called it before the deal. On a 2nd and 8, they can afford to do those, and they unfortunately took my advice.
Well, they're seeing something up top here wherever they're calling the plays from. Usually it's the eyes in the sky that are calling the plays. Your offensive coordinators a lot of times is up in the booth, probably right next to us. They seen the single coverage, okay, man-to-man coverage on that one side, and they took advantage of it. Hansen on to kick. He's missed 2 extra points consecutively. He connects on this one. It is now 33-14, 19-point game with 26 seconds to go. Third quarter. There's still a ton of time in this game. The Lynx have to find something offensively to sustain drives and really put points on the board. They cannot go 4 and out anymore in this ballgame.
Yeah, we got to have a little more sense of urgency on the line of scrimmage when we're calling the play calling. The couple of yards on a rush is not going to get us where we need to go. So hopefully we can make some adjustments and get the ball moving down the field.
You also probably have to go to a more spread offense. It's going to be hard to run the ball down 19 with only a quarter, basically right around a quarter and 26 seconds to go. You're down 19. Remember, the Tigers are going to have chances on offense too, and so they really need to open up the offense a little bit. Let Thuy really take control of this game with his arm.
Yeah, we got to get some passes just to the outside and let the receivers try to make some moves and make somebody miss. Doesn't have to be a bomb every time. Get some high percentage passes just over the line of scrimmage and let that receiver make the move.
And hats off to the Tigers' offensive line. He had all day to throw. I mean, to connect those big passes downfield, you got to have all day to throw, and he did on that possession. And Delaney's going to bring it up. He breaks a tackle, cuts to the outside. He's going to bring it up to the 25, 26, maybe 27-yard line. Penalty flags fly. We've seen a bunch of yellow hankies all over the field. We'll see what the call is.
I'm thinking block in the back, or holding. But that's why I'm up here, Ken.
You're up here, and you do a great job. And I want to thank you, Bob, for doing the color. Now, is this year 3?
This would be year 3, yep, on a regular basis, yep.
Awesome. We want to thank you, Bob. As Bob Arnold has done color with me for 3 years. I think I've really done quite a bit of play-by-play for Lynx football and Lynx men's basketball, boys basketball. Since Lynx TV started, and I want to thank you all for tuning in and being fans of the Brandon Valley school system and the Lynx as a whole, as the student athletes really perform well in this community.
All right, so it looks like they marked it back 10 yards from where the spot of the foul. Looks like we got 1st and 10 on about the 12.
Spread formation for Thuy. Alpers to his right along with Delaney. He's looking for Alpers. He doesn't find anything. He's going to go with his legs. Biggest run of the game is going to come from Thuy, and he exploits the defense up the middle. A gain of 12. That's what they're going to have to rely on now in the running game. We know Thuy can run. 10 seconds to go in the third quarter, and it looks like we're going to boil all the way down to zeros on the clock in the third quarter, but that's going to be a first down for the Lynx. And that will do it for the third quarter. It was all Tigers as they opened up a one touchdown lead. They were up 20-14 at halftime. It has now climbed to 33-14 from big plays from their offense. And let's see what the Lynx can do here in the fourth quarter. They need to find something offensively, and I think that's what they're going to do from a spread formation here, Bob.
Yeah, he really wanted to pass down the field, but when the protection broke down, he decided to run because all of the folks that would be in the middle of the field were behind him chasing. So that was a good run by the quarterback. See what we come up with, see what we can dial up here on this play.
Two things the coaching staff really has to focus on is so the spread formation is going to open up that running game a little bit with Thuy, right? You got to throw the ball. All right, you're down 19-12. There's only 12 minutes on that clock. I know that's a lot of time in football, but you know what Harrisburg's going to do. They're up 19. They're going to run the ball. It's going to be Rollinger. It's going to be Carlson running the ball. Those two, along with Knuth with the quarterback keepers, the rest of the game, I'll tell you, because they want to drain that clock. So you have to prepare for that. You got to take limited time off with your offense.
I totally agree, Ken. We just got we got to get something on the board this particular quarter. I think the spread offense is making them think a little bit more on defense, but I think we got to have a little more quick hitting passes versus just going for the home run down the field.
One play at a time, spread formation, two receivers to Thuy's right, one to his left. He rolls to his left. He's over the line of scrimmage, I think, but he finds Delaney. There's a penalty flag. I think it's going to be a holding call, though. As you can see that there's a yellow flag to your right of your screen.
Yep, back in the backfield, offensive backfield.
I thought he was over the line of scrimmage, too, but they're going to call holding on number 75 for the Lynx.
Lucas Feldkamp,
the tackle for the Lynx. We've seen a few of those as every time you have a quarterback that's rolling out, the tackles are really susceptible to holding calls because they got to hold a little bit. I mean, every play, offensive linemen are holding all the time anyways. It's just if it's blatant and outside the shoulder pads, that's when you get caught. Shotgun formation for Thuy. Two receivers to his right. He looks at all personnel. He's going to find Delaney on the quick slant. He is met right away, but you're going to have to see some urgency from this offense, a little hurry-up offense, as we're going to go down to 11:30 in this ball game. Brings up a second down, and you're going to look at about 13 as a 7-yard gain there. They're going to say second down and 12, 8-yard gain from the 21-yard line. Lynx have to find some urgency here. They cannot take a lot of time in those huddles. We'll see if they go to a no huddle at some point. Three receivers to Thuy's left. He's got a tight end in Anderson to his left. Three receivers to his right. Thuy right up the middle. He's going to gain a first down. No, he's not going to pick it up, but a big gainer from Thuy right up the middle as he's going to gain, well, they're going to say a first down. They're going to move the chains. He gains right at that 12 yards, Bob. First down Lynx. That stops the clock when they move those chains. Let's see some urgency here from the offense.
I totally agree, Ken. That was a great play by the quarterback. You see, he got some pressure in the backfield, and he busted it right through the line and got that yardage. I'm sure he saw where the sticks were and knew where he needed to be.
Shotgun formation, two receivers to Thuy's left, one to his right, and that's Delaney. Rolls to his left, breaks the huddle. Flag on the play again. They go to Anderson, incomplete, their big tight end. But I think you're going to see another holding call from the Lynx offensive line.
Just from where the position of the flag came.
Holding offense, Feldkamp again, the tackle, number 75.
Well, whatever they're executing on the far side of the tackle, they're getting pressure on the quarterback, and in lieu of getting the quarterback absolutely killed, he reaches out and holds on a little bit to try to slow him down, and the official's right there. Is right in front of him, which was unfortunate.
Brings up a first down and 20 from the 24-yard line, 10:34 to go in this ball game. Quick hitter, Bonwell Witt. He breaks a tackle. It's right at his ankles, and he's going to push all the way down to the original line of scrimmage, I believe, maybe a yard short. It's going to be second down and 10 or 11. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like it's going to be second down and 11 from the 33.
You know what I'd like to see, Ken, on this side? Bring Delaney down to this side, have him do a stutter step and a pump fake, and that defensive back's going to pull up. He's going to be wide open.
Bonwell Whitty, Alpers to his left. He motions Anderson. He brings Delaney up to the line of scrimmage on the right. Heavy pressure coming to Thuey's right. There's a screen underneath. It's going to go to his running back, number 31, Veskernaw. And is he out of bounds? Does that stop the clock? I think it does at 9:46.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a gain of about 5. They're going to take 6 yards, 3rd and 4 from the 40. 9:46 to go as the clock is stopped.
I think it's almost two down territory here, Ken.
Shotgun formation. Thuey, 2 receivers to his left. That's going to be Alpers in the slot. He's open. They're going to go up top to Delaney, though. Big catch. No, just out of the reach as great coverage from the corner. That's going to be number 5 for the Tigers defense, the corner. And we don't – can you give me that number and name, Bob?
Justin Cabrera?
Justin Cabrera, the corner. They must be in a nickel
Yeah, he is.
package.
Yeah, he brings them in when they need an extra defensive back.
Big 4th down and 5. Right now, the Lynx need to convert. 9:40. They need to get points on the board on this possession, and this is the biggest play of the ball game right now. Shotgun formation. 2 receivers to his right and left. Goes up top. He's got Anderson, and it is incomplete, but I would say the same thing. Great call by the back judge. Interference, pass interference, as Anderson was going up, and
He looked like he was holding the arm down so that he did not have the ability to go up and get that pass.
O'Connor looks like he grabbed the arms a little too soon. That's going to be a 1st down for your Lynx, if that's what they're going to call it. It is pass interference on number 6. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty on the Tigers. Free 1st down, 9:34 to go. Lynx cross midfield at about the 44-yard line, 9:34 to go. 2 receivers to Thuey's right. Quick snap. Looks like a screen. Thuey breaks it. Has Alpers wide open over the middle, out of the reach of his hands. As pretty good coverage by number 3, Holt, the safety for the Tigers, brings up a 2nd down and 10 from the 44. Clock stops with the incomplete pass. That's a beautiful thing about an incomplete pass. If it's going to be incomplete, that clock's not running. 9:28 to go. Lynx down by 19. Shotgun formation. Thuey drops back. 5-step drop. Breaks the pass rush and moves up to the and cuts back. He actually was going to the sideline, cuts back to the hashes, and he gains probably another 15 yards and the 1st down. So it's going to be down at the 21-yard line. Moving the chain stops that clock too. They're going to wind it though. 9:15 to go. 1st down and 10 from the 21. Thuey, shotgun formation. Delaney, number 5's to his left. It looks like they're going to have man-to-man coverage out there. Let's see if they exploit it. They're going to go right to it. And it's out of the reach as Delaney wanted a quick slant. Delaney's coming up hobbling a little bit as that pass was out of the reach.
That pass had some velocity to it, Ken.
It did. As Thuey really wanted to get it to him, but that stops the clock. 8:58 to go. Both teams have 3 timeouts. Lynx down by 19. Play clock sitting at about 15 seconds. The Lynx want to hurry. They get to the line of scrimmage. Thuey, shotgun. 2 receivers is Alpers and Bonwell Whitty to his left with Delaney to his right. Drops back. Beautiful pass. Oh, and it's just underneath. It looks like Alpers was right there, just underthrown a little bit.
Yeah, it was. It's a good play call. Just wasn't executed quite a bit. Now we've got a big third down here.
3rd down and 10 from the 21, as this is 2-down territory, as you can see, unless Coach Christensen elects to go for the field goal to make it a 2-score game at 16 points. We'll see what he decides if they do not make this first down on the 3rd down and 10. Shotgun formation. Looks to Bonwell Whitty. Doesn't find it. He's going to use his own legs. That's Thuy. Tries to come up to about the 15 to 14-yard line as he scrambles. 6-yard gain. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 4. Decision time. You can see Coach Christensen in the bottom of your screen talking to Coach Siliuson, the special teams coordinator. You wonder what the conversation is right now. Do you think we can kick this field goal? That's probably the conversation that's happening between those two right down there on the bottom of your screen. Tight formation as 2 tight ends, Nelson and Bayless, into the ball game. 2 receivers to his right. They're going to motion both receivers. Confusion.
Timeout.
And they have to call a timeout as both receivers were motioning, and Bonwell Whitty put up his hands, really didn't know where they were going. That's a quick timeout. Lynx.
Probably not a bad timeout, Ken, as we're down here. You may not get down here again, so we got to make sure that whatever we're calling here, that everybody knows what it's going to be and how to execute it. I did not see Delaney out on that particular play. I wonder if he got hurt that last time.
Yeah, so my thought is he came up a little with a little bit of a limp. So he was trying that slant pattern in that man-to-man coverage on that single side. Well, Thuy put it to his outside instead of the inside, and he kind of had a twist back.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's coming back, maybe a little bit of an ankle.
Well, let's see who's out there for the personnel.
Delaney's back into the game, number 5 for the Lynx. He's got the touchdown along with Bayless in that first half, as Bonwell Whitty with him, and I believe Alpers, the 3rd receiver, number 1, out of that 3-receiver set. We'll see what they go with. No, they're going to do they're going to come out with a 2-receiver set. Delaney and Bonwell Whitty to his left. 2 tight ends, Nelson, Bayless. They motion Delaney underneath the quarterback in the pistol formation. Play action. Delaney's open. No, they're going to roll to his left. He's got wide open. He's going to grab the first down and more, all the way down to about the 3-ish yard line. They're going to say the 4, but the bad thing is Thuy did not get out of bounds. You've seen the side judge winding his arm. That means the play clock is still going, the time clock. So we're under 7:40 to go in this ball game, as the Lynx grab that first down and goal from the 4-yard line. Shotgun formation. It's a pistol. Nelson's to his right with his running back right to his back. He can run it. No, better catch though, and beautiful throw from Thuy to Delaney. He comes up hobbling, so even better effort from Delaney. He catches it in the end zone. Touchdown, and they're going to wave the training personnel over. It looks like Delaney's down on the field, but a big catch from Delaney for his 2nd touchdown of the game. That puts the score at 33-20. They haven't changed it on the scoreboard. They called it, right, Bob?
Yes.
Okay, I'm making sure that they're not questioning if he caught it or not, because it looks like, it's way far from us, but it looked like a beautiful catch by Delaney.
Well,
just changed. Yeah.
Yep. The FAR official put his hands up in the air.
So it is a 33-20 ball game now as the scoreboard changes. Delaney is down on the field. We talked about he may be cramping a little bit. It looks like they have the one leg up. We'll see what they're working on here. Is just a beautiful catch by him, though. He has 2 touchdowns in the game. He's going to come off the field here. And Bayless has got the other touchdown from the tight end position, number 38, for the Lynx.
The one thing I was very impressed with on that throw, Ken, is the only person that could possibly catch that was Delaney.
It was a beautiful throw as Thuy rolled right and he could have ran it in too, but he decided to throw it, and touchdown for your Lynx. Haas is in for the extra point. No, they're going to keep the offense out.
They're going to go for 2.
Going for 2 is Thuy. He's going to motion Nelson back. He's got 2 receivers. That's a tight end formation. Play action. He's got a receiver open in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, or excuse me, extra point is good. They could have called a late hit too on the Tiger defender as Thuy's laying on the ground. That 2-point conversion is good. It's now an 11-point game. 33-22 in this 11 AAA matchup of 2 teams desperate for a win early in the season in the 23rd annual Pigskin Classic.
You know, that went right through the defender's hands, right to the offensive player for Brandon. They're very lucky that it went through the hands. I'm guessing it was probably sweat like we are, Ken.
Yeah, you're sweating, I'm sweating. We got towels on us. We have fans blowing around us. We have a window open. I'm trying to paint the picture.
But here's the deal, Ken. We get the opportunity to come out for a great night of football and talk about it so the folks at home can kind of get a feel of what's going on.
Absolutely, and hats off to our sponsors. They make this all happen. We want to thank them in the community. Make sure you go out and support those sponsors because they're the reason that this telecast is happening tonight, and in every telecast on Lynx TV for all the athletic events Brandon Valley has, and the marching band and everything that Lynx TV covers. We want to thank you, sponsors.
Yes, it's been a great night of football, albeit a little warm. It does not look like too many people have left this field, Ken, which is great. Do you remember last year when I predicted exactly what the attendance was of that Pigskin Classic game?
Yeah, tell me what the attendance is tonight, because I see an extra set of bleachers over on the other side, so that has to add to your attendance.
Yes, well, there was another 41 people in that extra one.
Okay.
So last year when I said that there was a lot, that was exactly right, and tonight there might have been even more.
We got fireworks, too. I don't know if you've seen that on your screen, but I saw it, and I heard it.
I heard it, but I did not see it.
That's coming. Oh, an onside kick. Lynx are on it. They're saying they have it, and they do. Beautiful onside kick from Haas. And number 2 for the Lynx. That's going to be, and let me grab my roster here as number 2 for your Lynx comes up with the ball. And I can't read it, but Bob's going to read it for you.
Grayson Bortnam.
Grayson Bortnam comes up with a big change of possession there. Yeah, I could have looked at that too, Bob, but I didn't. Come on. I only have 7 different play call sheets in front of me. You think I memorize all this stuff? Come on.
That's why you're the guy who's the guy.
Thuy, shotgun, 2 receivers to his right. Big possession on offense. Just under 7 to go. Hits his receiver, and that's going to be Delaney again. Am I correct? I can't see the number from here. It is Delaney, his favorite target of the night. Has 2 touchdowns, moves the chains, first down. Thuy rolls to his right. Thuy's been very efficient so far in this fourth quarter on rollouts. They're design rollouts, and they've worked.
You know, the medium range passing deal is now working. They've kind of taken away the long stuff, and they're getting some good chunks of yards on these medium range ones.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to Thuy's left, 1 to his right. That's going to be Delaney. Looks to Delaney. Underneath screen. Finds him, and right there is number 3 for the Tigers. The safety, Holt, comes up and meets Delaney for a 1-yard loss. Brings up a 2nd down and 11 from about the 35-ish yard line, they're going to say. And Delaney's going to come off the field. They need another receiver. That's going to be number 16.
Looks like Wyatt Melcher.
Wyatt Melcher's going to come into the game for the Lynx. He's a single receiver down to the bottom of your screen. 2 receivers to his right, Alpers and Bonwell Whitty. Right to Bonwell Whitty. up the sideline, spins, first down, moving the chains, stops the clock. Just under 5:50 to go. They got to stop that clock. There was about 5 seconds that went off that clock there that the reffing crew's got to stop that clock when they move those chains. Every second counts in this fourth quarter. It's a 2-score game. Lynx are driving. 24-yard line, first down and 10. Thuy, 2 receivers to his left and 1 to his right. Snap, play action, heavy pass rush, and he's going to be down with a sack by number 71, I believe, for the Tigers.
Yeah, they put big pressure, and looks like that's Rizig Osman. Rizig Osman.
For the first sack of the game, I think, for the Tigers. And the scoreboard is not in the favor of the Lynx right now, and the clock is not in the favor right now. So they got to be in a hurry-up mode as they have 2 timeouts remaining in this ball game. Thuy, draw, quarterback keeper, breaks a tackle up the middle. He's going to gain a first down. Just under 5 minutes, 4:52 to go. Most important part, they're going to move the chain, stop the clock, 4:52 to go, 11-point game.
You know, what a good play draw. They drew it up. They knew they were getting pressure. They knew they wanted to pass, and I think that was a designed run, or at least it looked like it from my perspective.
Delaney back in the game for the Lynx. I formation is Nelson now the fullback. Thuy under center. Delaney to his right. Play action. Looking for Delaney. They find him. Underthrown. Delaney was open in the corner front pylon of the end zone, and it's underthrown as Delaney designed play action, roll out to his right. Underthrown. Stops the clock, though. 2nd and goal from the 8. Just a tick under, 2 ticks under 4:30 in this ball game. 4:28. 11 points separates these 2 teams. Lynx driving off the onside kick from Haas. Pistol formation. Nelson to Thuey's left. Looking to Bonwell Whitty. Draw. Thuy. Touchdown! Thuy with the draw. Quarterback keeper up the middle. Finds the end zone. His 2nd touchdown of the game. Actually, his 1st touchdown of the game, running the ball. He's thrown 3 touchdowns. That's Thuy. He's been the catalyst of 4 touchdowns in this game.
Yep, looks like they're going to go for 2, Ken.
They're
They
going
need to.
for 2. It is a 5-point game. What a ball game we have. 33-28. Coach Christensen deciding to keep his offense on the field. Wants to put it within 3 points this game. Thuy. It looks like design draw. They're going to give it to Thuy. End zone. Good! No, they're going to say no good. I was listening to the crowd because I couldn't see anything. Whole bunch of players around. Incomplete. No good. It's still a 1-score game. 5 points. 4:22 to go. Remember, Lynx, 2 timeouts remaining. They have to be able to stop the run here. You know the Tigers are not going to put it in the air. What it does on incompletions, it gives you actually an extra timeout. It stops the clock. You know they're going to run the ball. They're designing something to make sure they get the onside kick here. The interesting part here is between these coaching staffs, which one's going to pull the trigger here for the onside kick if they're going to kick it. Which one are we going to kick it deep, rely on our run-stuffing defense, put everybody at the line of scrimmage, and just hope that man-to-man coverage happens and be able to call 2 timeouts.
So, Ken, being a defensive coach, would this be an opportune time for Brandon on defense to switch to a 4-3 to kind of slow down the run a little bit?
You almost go 52 and play man coverage. Put a safety up top, watch the quarterback where he's turning his shoulders. That's what I'd do. I'd put a 52 defense in, 5 linemen, and let's play ball at the line of scrimmage. because you know that's what they're going to do.
Well, you would as a defensive D. You just want the clock to run out. You don't need points. You just need the clock.
You tell your secondary, we're going to go into man coverage. We're going to put 4 back. Okay, they're going to spread the ball. They've done it all game. They're not going to go into a tight formation. That's my guess. They run out of the spread. 4 receiver sets, 3 receivers to one side, a trip set, and the one single receiver. That's what they're coming out right now. You can see on your screen there. It's going to be interesting to see. They're going to keep the 3 down linemen. You know they're going to run. We'll see what we do. It's a 3-3 defense.
What? Ball's going to number 10.
Or a designed run. Here it is by Canoe.
Yep.
He breaks it open. And he's going to be down at about the 26-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 5. It's going to be a timeout for the Lynx. Now remember, the Lynx only have 1 timeout remaining. Interesting to see what defense we come out. They still kept the 3 down lineman defense. They did not listen to us, but we're up here and they're right over there. Okay?
Yeah.
Would they have to make the decision and count on their defensive linemen, and they're kind of in a 3-3 stack right now, and what we call that is 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers directly behind you, because you got to get into coverage. They're spreading you. I understand that. But you have to force the line of scrimmage. You've got to be able to move the line of scrimmage, because right now they're moving the line of scrimmage.
Yep, there are 5 guys on the offensive line are moving our 3 guys up front.
We'll see what we go into now is the Lynx are going to come out of that timeout, spread formation for Knuth. It's going to be another quarterback draw. You can almost see it already from Knuth as his up back is Carlson. 3 receivers to his right. They're going to bring the blitz. That's going to be the Lynx. The middle linebacker Dowd is up to the line of scrimmage about a yard off. They come from the outside. They stuff him. Great play by the Lynx as they swarm around the ball carrier. 3rd down now. Lynx are going to call their 2nd timeout. 4:06 to go. Interesting. I almost think this is going to happen, Bob. Here's what I think is going to happen. You want me to predict it?
Sure.
Let's put our coaching caps on. You guys ready? You at home, you put your coaching caps on too. I know you have a grease board right in front of you. You're drawing it up just like us, okay? I think they're going to go to that bubble screen with Carlson again. I think they're going to put it in the air.
Yep.
I know it's dangerous to do that because it stops the clock, but it is 3rd down. It's dangerous not to get the 1st down too. So you're playing with 2 different scenarios from the Tigers' offense here. Is that we know that Knuth can run, right? Design run. He's picked up a chunk of yards on the ground. You got to play for that. They're not going to go back to Rollinger on the run. That's my guess, or Carlson on the run. It's either going to be Carlson on that bubble screen, and here's what I'd do. I'd jam those receivers off the line of scrimmage, play a safety over the top, make sure that bubble doesn't happen, and bring all your linebackers to the line of scrimmage to stop Knuth. That's what I would do right here. Jam Carlson off. Make sure he doesn't catch it on the bubble. Knuth. False start. Is it a false start?
Well, we got a flag anyway.
This is going to be a passing now. They're going to throw the ball now. It is a false start on the Tigers. Wow, do we have drama here happening on the 23rd annual Pigskin Classic here on a Saturday steamy evening. It's a 5-point game. Everybody tune in because this is going to come down to the wire. Big 3rd down for the Lynx defense. 3rd and 9 from the 21. Watch for the screen pass. Come up and jam. Put pressure on Knuth here. He's in the shotgun. He's going to roll right. He's looking down in the middle of the field. He's got a receiver. Great defense. Intercepted. It is. It's intercepted by number 0. That's going to be the cornerback, Breeze. They went to the well, Bob. They went downfield. We predicted that bubble screen to Carlson. They wanted nothing more but to go to the middle of the field. They tried. The Lynx defense came at the biggest part of the game. Lynx ball.
I believe that might be our first turnover, Ken.
First turnover of the ball game. Bob called it, and he is correct.
Unless they call the pooch kick on the kickoff a turnover. If they're not, that's number 2.
Boy, does that 2-point conversion right now, do the Lynx want that back, where it's a 3-point game. 3:57 to go. You want to drain the whole clock here as an offense. The Tigers have 3 timeouts. Lynx have none. Drops back. Thuy. Spread formation. Has a receiver. Puts it up top. Almost intercepted. And I think we have the Tigers coaching staff right to our left, because I heard some banging on the wall right to my left. That's usually the case. The Tigers coaching staff, Bob, is right to our left, and they weren't happy. They wanted that interception.
Yeah, I think if I would too, but it looks like we've got somebody down on the field that's cramping, which I guess if there's a reason for down on the field cramping, we'll take that versus something worse. So
I think it's Delaney again cramping at the middle of the field. So the Lynx coming on a 2nd down and 10 from the 47-yard line. Manageable. We do not have to hit home runs, Bob. Okay, we do not.
No.
Manage the game. It is 4-down territory no matter what. I don't care where you're at on the field right now. You do not have timeouts in your pocket. The other team does. They have their full set. They have 3. They're up by 5. They have right now the ball game in hand, but the momentum has swung because of that interception by Breest. Our corner number 0 has flipped the momentum all of a sudden for the Lynx. Manage the game. Do not get out of your offense here. I agree spreading it. It's really opened Thuy with the running game. Thuy's become all of a sudden our leading rusher too, and he has to be teeter on like 60 to 7 yards on the ground too in Thuy.
you know, they're getting so much pressure upfield that it makes Thuy a runner because they're getting pressure on the outside. They're not getting it up the gut, which opens up when the pressure goes around, and Thuy can take it off and go. So might not be the worst thing to have a draw.
We talked about it at halftime, what type of offense we would come out on, right?
Yeah.
We talked about going into the spread to try to open up a running game. Well, the Lynx went into it in the fourth quarter, and now they've climbed back into this game. They've scored 14 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to make it a 5-point game, 33-28.
Yep, that's it was interesting to see when they, with one of your best weapons, cramping at this point in time, and he's kind of trying to walk it off, but it may be tough to get him back in the last 3 minutes and 50 seconds. But that's why you've got nearly 100 people on the Brandon roster. Hopefully we can get somebody to fill in and make a big play while Mr. Delaney's off the side.
What a great athlete Delaney is. He plays point guard for the Lynx basketball team also. And on the field right now, you have two receivers to Thuy's right, and it looks like number 1, Alpers, out of the slot formation, is jumped a little early. It's going to be a false start on Alpers from the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
Number 16 is in the game for the Lynx.
Wyatt Melcher.
He's in for Delaney now as Lynx start from about the 42-yard line, 2nd and 15 for the Lynx. Thuy shotgun, has his running back to his left, 2 receivers, Alpers and Bonwell Whitty to his right. Has a tight end open over the middle, rolls right, doesn't find anything. He's going to go out of bounds, and he's going to lose possibly 1 to 2 yards.
But the clock is running. Well, at least it did for another 2 seconds.
3:40 now to go in the ball game. 3rd and 17. They're going to say 18, so a loss of 3 from the 39-yard line.
Yeah, they had him pretty well covered down the field.
3 receivers now to Thuy's left. tight end. Bayless to his right. Shotgun formation. 340. Thuy drops back. Has a receiver wide open. Bonwell Whitty with the catch. Oh! Right out of his hands.
Wow, he had it. What a beautiful throw. Beautiful throw. You couldn't ask for anything better.
Remember, when it's this hot out, folks, that ball is ultra slippery too. It is ultra slippery. The ball's sweating. Your hands are sweating. Those gloves are sweating.
And we're up here, and we're sweating.
And we're sweating.
And you can imagine what they're doing down there when they're exerting themselves.
And you're sweating at home because this is a close ball game. 3:31 to go. Fourth down and 18. Play clock's at 3. They're not going to get it off. It's going to be a delay of game on the Lynx as they broke the huddle too late. And that's going to drive the Lynx back here. Another 5 yards, I believe.
Yep, delay game is 5 yards.
So it's going to be 4th and 23 from the 34. I would almost get Bonwell Whitty on that crossing pattern again over the middle of the field. It looks like, and they may be doing that from the right to left. Bonwell Whitty is up to the right here, and they may be bringing him across the field. They're not. They're going to go up the middle of the field and out of the reach of Melcher, number 16. That's going to be a turnover or downs. I don't know. You can still stop their offense, I believe, with 3:25 to go. Mathematically, we have 25 seconds on the play clock, so definitely can get the ball back here. Field position sitting at about the 34-yard line on your screen, to the right of your screen. 3:25 to go. Remember, the play clock sits at 25 seconds between downs. Interesting to see what the Lynx do defensively here. You know the run's coming, and it's probably coming from either Carlson or Knuth. Shotgun formation for Knuth. And is it going to be a false start on the offense? It is. False start on the Tigers. That's going to drive them back a little bit. So that helps the defense here, Bob, because remember, you can get the ball back. You don't give up the first down here. You will get the ball back. Can we figure that out on a 25 seconds? So 75
seconds. That's a minute and 15 on the clock. But
a minute 15 we can have on the clock if we stop it, right?
That's if it's 3 straight 25-second.
That they're down,
that
they're down
but
right
then,
at the line of scrimmage.
But if they took a knee, that type of deal.
Ball's on the ground, no. And the Lynx defense is right there to stop Carlson. Ooh. Carlson breaks it. There's got to be a holding call in the backfield. They're not going to call it, but that ball was on the ground, Bob. That was close.
I don't understand why it was not a push in the back block by the quarterback on that play.
So it's going to bring up a second down. 3 minutes to go. Play clock's at 20.
And they're not going to be in any hurry. So
second down and 16 from the 40. Lynx can get the ball back offensively here. This game is not over. Knuth, shotgun, 3 receivers to his right. Quarterback draw. Lynx are going to bring him down on about a 4-yard gain. It's going to bring up a third down. They have to get the play off, this third down play, at 2 minutes even. And it's third down in about 12. It'll be a tick under 2 minutes on the play clock. 6, 5, 4, 3. Could be a delay of game. It is a delay of game. They got to call it. It's a delay of game. Whew.
But
That stops the clock.
what I don't get though is it was at 2:15 on the clock with 15 seconds on the clock with 2:14. How do you get 3 seconds below that? 1 second I get.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm sorry, I'm not the brightest guy, but I do know math.
25 seconds on the play clock. 1:57 to go on the clock. That means everything. 5-point game. Tigers up 33-28. Both teams walking into this game 0-1 in the AAA, looking for their first win of the season. Lynx fans coming to their feet. Sideline. Knuth. Heavy pressure from the Lynx. He's trying to get out the outside. Looks like a block in the back. He's going to be gobbled up by number 57. 57. That's going to be Risty.
And they ruled him inbounds.
They did. It's going to wind the clock still. Lynx.
It's going to be down to about 1 minute and 10 seconds to go on the clock.
Minute 10 to go.
Minus whatever the time is for the play.
On the clock. 4th down. They're going to bring it all the way down, and they're going to call a timeout.
Timeout, yep. With about 1 minute and 10 to go.
Minute 10 to go. Timeout is going to be called by the Tigers as they're looking to the sideline. They're going to put it at 1:10. Scenario is happening right now. This is what's playing out. My guess is we're going to have a punting situation. Or are they afraid that there may be a missed snap on the punt where it can be a turnover? A lot of scenarios are going through the coach's head, both sidelines right now. And it's a chess match right now between Coach Christensen and the other sideline. Is you got 1:10 to go, okay? You got 4th down and 13. Not manageable. If it was 4th and 1, maybe manageable. 4th and 2, 4th and 3, maybe manageable for that offense. Right now, that's not the case. 5-point game. No timeouts for the Lynx. 2 timeouts for the Tigers. They're going to probably try to draw them off sides. Maybe bring that play clock down again.
But it's a dead ball foul, so the regular clock is not going to move. Play clock, yes. Regular clock, no.
Right, but they have timeouts in their pocket.
No, they do. I got a crazy thought, Ken.
Go ahead.
And this happened when Mr. Knuth, the older Knuth, was here the last time. They had about something that was very similar to this. They dropped back, and he just did a pooch punt from the quarterback position. Both of them are pretty good athletes. It would catch them by surprise, and they don't have to kick it too far. They just got to kick it over the offensive line. That's my guess on a wild, if I'm going to go on a wild here.
Well, the offense is coming back to the field. You see Knuth coming out. Rollinger is going to be with him in the backfield. 3 receivers are going to be to his left. They're going to go for it. Watch Carlson here on that bubble screen. He is dangerous. They know they have man-to-man coverage on the opposite side with Tryon. Trying to get him off sides. Rolls out to the left. Trying to drain some clock here. He's not going to throw it. He is. It's incomplete. Stops the clock. So that's kind of an added timeout. You don't get any yards on that. I'm pooching that punt, Bob. That's what I'm doing. If I am just hanging that ball way up in the air, letting some time, the same type of time, come off the field, let it bounce on the ground some. I'm talking from the Tigers' standpoint, and not give the Lynx this type of field position. With 1:02, you're at the 37. This is ball game, folks. 1st down and 10 from the 37. Thuy drops back. He's got 4 receivers. He's going to roll to his left. He needs to get out of bounds. He gains the 1st down. He may be hit out of bounds. They're not going to call it, but it does stop the clock with 55 seconds to go. I believe it's going to be a 1st down. It's going to move the chains.
They're moving them.
1st down and 10 with 55 seconds to go. Coaching staff wants a late hit on the sideline. They do not get it. 55 seconds, 5-point game. Touchdown, Lynx win. No touchdown, Lynx lose. That's what we have right now. Under a minute to go, 55 seconds. 11 AAA ball game on a Saturday night, and here we go. Thuy. Good coverage
That was really good coverage.
by the Tigers. They're dropping everything back. They're playing everything underneath them. You're almost saying, Thuy, hey, let's use your legs here. Just keep on moving down the field.
Yep, that was
If
a good
they're
play
gonna
by.
If they're going to drop that far, those linebackers are bailing. And you know the safeties are way high. So you have to be able to use your legs as Thuy. You can't force throws. Thuy, shotgun. 2 receivers to his right and left. Overthrows Nelson. 46 seconds to go. 3rd and 10 from the 47. That's your next play. They got to hurry up. You do not want to. Last possession. Look what happened. Play call came in a little bit late, and the play clock went down to 0, delay a game, because you do not have timeouts. You do not have anything to spare right now. 0 timeouts. 46 seconds to go. 3rd and 10 from the 47. Thuy, shotgun. Finds Bonwell Whitty. He's got to get out of bounds, but he also has to think about getting that first down, because now it's going to be 4th and about 3. And the biggest play of the game is happening right now. It's going to be 4th and 2 from the 45. Ball across the 50. Thuy, shotgun. Drops back. Rolls right. He's going to go with his legs. He's going to grab it and more, but they got to hurry up. He's brought down. But remember, the chains moving stop the clock. 34 seconds. They're going to wind the clock. Not yet. Oh, and he spikes the ball, only drains 1 second off that smart play. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 39-yard line. We talked about Thuy using his legs. Right now, he needs to. He needs to use his legs, but he has to be conscious of the 33 seconds that are left in this ball game. Also, you're in that territory where it's kind of a tweener right now. It's not in the red zone. You've got to be able to manage the game. You've got to get out of bounds, too. And if the Tigers are smart, they're going to try to force him to the left, where it's the wide side of the field. Thuy drops back. Finds his running back over the middle. He's down at about does he get the first down? That's going to move the chains. They're going to mark him just short. No, they're going to say first down.
Wow.
20 seconds. Got to hurry. He's got to spike this ball again. He got to live to play for the 2nd down here, and he does. 20 seconds to go.
So really didn't burn anything off the clock there.
That's the beautiful thing about high school football. Every first down, when they move those chains, that the time clock stops cold until the white hat winds the clock. They're having a conversation, and I think
Do we got a timeout on
we
that?
have a timeout by Harrisburg, I believe. They have 1 remaining, so they have 1 they can burn.
Well, I'm thinking they're wanting to give their defense just a little breather, get them some direction on what we want to shut off, knowing that we got to tackle them inbounds and on the defensive side. So, the Lynx are talking, okay, what kind of play can we get that's going to get us out of bounds, because they're going to have to be playing close to the numbers on the sidelines for passes, or if you're going to run, you got to get out of bounds. If you're not going to get a touchdown, you got to get out of bounds, because you may not be able to get up to the line to stop the clock.
Give them a little bit of what O'Gorman gave us last week about this time frame on the clock, real close. 11 seconds separating. It was 9 seconds last week. O'Gorman went to the corner of the end zone, touchdown. Give them a little bit of what happened to you last week to your defense. We're at the middle of the field, so you're not really playing the hashes. So you can go to the top side. The wide side of the field right now is the top side of your screen. On the right side there, you may want to go with Alpers in the corner of the end zone And they're going to reset the clock at 18. How did 18 go? Reset the clock at 18. It was 20 seconds. They're saying that down to the ball took 2 seconds. 18 seconds to go. Second down and 10 from the 29. Roll out to the right. Find Alpers. He's in bounds. They got to hurry up. They got to move. 10. We got a flag.
Ooh, delay a game maybe on the defense for holding up the football. We'll see.
8 seconds to go. We'll see if that puts seconds on the clock too. That's two important things here. You're going to gain yardage. Are you going to gain yardage off this penalty?
Well,
Are you going to gain clock time here too? Interesting call by the reffing crew here. Let's see.
Dead ball. Delay game.
You were right, Bob. Delay a game.
gives them a first down.
First down. Does it give them extra seconds on the clock? It does not.
So you've got, this is your play. This is your play for the game right here.
Well, I think you may be able to get 2 out of here. You take a quick hitter.
You'd have to get right out of bounds, like right away.
Yeah, you take a quick hitter in the end zone. False start. False start on the offense. That's going to nullify the delay a game penalty.
But chances are you're probably going to call the same kind of play for the yardage.
Dead ball. Full start. Offense. Penalty.
So a trip set's going to be to the bottom of your screen from the Lynx offense too. He's in the shotgun pistol formation. He's got 3 to his left, 1 to his right. Watch the crossing pattern from Bonwell Whitty coming across the field. No, they're going to go topside. He's got him. It's going to be a touchdown. Oh, intercepted. Great play by number 5. And that's going to do it. No flags on the play for pass interference. Had him open. That will do it. The Tigers defense comes up big at the end of the game. It is intercepted by number 5 for the Tigers.
Looks like Justin Cabrera.
Justin Cabrera with the big interception. And that's going to do it. Tigers come in to Lynx territory on the 23rd Pigskin Classic, and they win 33-28. What a ball game! As the Tigers move to 1-1 on the season, and it's early, folks. Stay with this team. It's a long, long season still. They're starting 0-2. I've seen this team rise above the occasion and come out kind of like this in years past and go to a state title game. So stay with them. They're a very good team. Stay with them. They're losing really, really close ball games. It's really, really a flip of the switch or a play here and a play there. It's not blowouts. It's 5 points. It's 3 points. They've lost 2 games by a total of 8 points total. Be with us, please, as the Lynx fall in the Pigskin Classic 33-28 on this Saturday evening. Give me what you think, Bob.
You know, there's a lot of effort played on there. Very hot night. You can see a lot of people limping around. They gave everything they've got. You know what? The first 2 weeks they played 2 of the top 5 teams in the state, and you know what? They were right there with them, neck and neck. You know what? We got to wash all that away and think about next week, and see what brings and see what the coaching staff can do this week to get everybody healed up and get a good game plan going and see what's going on.
Yeah, and your final score is 33-28. Tigers take down the Lynx, and the Lynx go to 0-2 on the season. And the next game's the most important game. They need to get into the win column real quick in the AAA right now, as the Harrisburg Tigers move to 1-1 on the season. We want to thank you all for tuning in to Lynx TV. If you're on channel 226 on the line, it's communications, or the Lynx TV YouTube channel. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you to our sponsors. You're the reason we do this, and you're the reason we are able to do this. And I want to thank you, Bob, for coming in and doing the color. I almost said play-by-play. We may switch roles someday here.
We will not. We will not. Just an FYI, next Friday night, September the 8th, Brandon takes on right here in town. They take on the Rapid City Central squad. And we'll see if we can come out with a win. And that's how you start a winning streak, Ken. Is you got to win the first one.
You got to win the first one. You're exactly right, Bob. That's a great point. You got to win the first one and go undefeated the rest of the season. And that's what you need to do. You throw these games out the door. They're learning experiences. Like we talked about, Bob, you lost by 8 total points against 2 really good teams. 8 total points in 2 games. That means you're right there. It's just a play or two right here in what happens on the football field.
You know, it took an O'Gorman. I'll just say this.